Welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's deja vu when I'm running up the reps. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. It's return of the man, they say I must rest. I can't wait for you, I get it for myself. So many places to be, I got plenty. I'm like you did it before we start trending. Don't mistake me for a lame or a goofy. Rockstar life is like a movie. Hollywood, where you be at? I remember when I used to drive a Fiat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. Welcome. So that account is down until the 22nd. Wow. Thank you. So I'll get back to doing what I was doing. Obviously, we got a lot of crybabies.
Are involved in evil in our community.
Jesus would be understanding.
We're about worship. We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them?
I'm too much for
gathering
TikTok,
for worship, which we do every Sunday, and we were interrupted by this group of protesters. We asked them to leave, and they obviously have not left.
So what we have is we have protesters going into ICE, to this church, and you see what they're doing. They're demanding that ICE get out, and the so-called pastor, he's not too thrilled about that, right? And so what we got, ladies and gentlemen, is proof that we are literally dealing with evil at the highest level. And all right, seriously. And what better way to deal with this evil than to, do what we've all been doing? What is that, Big Zeus? You're going to send somebody who's a pastor to hell, Zeus? Really? You're going to do that? Well, I have no choice. I have no choice, because when you look at the things that they're doing in this country, especially now, you see them trying to censor me. They don't like the truth. They call it misinformation. It's not misinformation. I just played Martin Luther King Jr. There was no misinformation in that. They're getting triggered because we're exposing them for what they are, which is a bunch of sick people, honestly. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I do this. Join me in warming up the lake of fire. All right? And this goes out to all the crybabies out there. They know who they are. They know who they are. Just accept defeat. Just accept defeat, and this would be over with. All right? Join me in sending them where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, that's a huge WZ. All right. Now there's another thing that I need to address before I move on. All right, there you go. All right. So, the other thing is, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if any of you have been keeping up with it. All right, but there's definitely smoke in the air as it pertains to Michael Cohen. Have you all been keeping up with what's happening with Michael Cohen out there, ladies and gentlemen? Seriously. Have you all been keeping up with it? All right, seriously. Have you all been keeping up with the Michael Cohen stuff? Yeah, so apparently, from what I understand, they have, yes, you saw that. All right. Well, if you do look into it, he's been on my show. All right. People who come from all walks of life. And for the most part, I just interact with people. I like to form my own conclusions about them. And for what it's worth, it definitely does look suspicious. Yeah, it does look suspicious. According to him, he was pressured by, prosecutors in New York. In particular, they're saying Letitia James, maybe even Alvin Bragg, to actually testify and say things about Donald Trump, right, in order to help get the conviction or in order to help find him liable for committing fraud, et cetera, et cetera. And so what I'll say is this, he has to carry his own cross, honestly. The interactions that I did have, I say this, thank you, Michael Cohen, for helping us get that conviction. Number one, because we got that conviction on Donald Trump. It's there. It's not going anywhere. They're trying to appeal it and say, so for that, that is what it is. But I also understand when you work for Donald Trump, you're going to have to be a very bad. He only wants bad people. He only wants bad people at the end of the day. And so, you could go, I'm not going to speak for him, but you could go read what he has said so far and come to your own conclusion. I'm not going to tell people what to think and feel, but I definitely am keeping more of a measured distance, right? You got to keep distance when stuff like this, because I got to get to the bottom of it. But I must say this to my fellow Democrats: do not be distracted. I got to say this to the Democrats. I'm not against Cohen. No, I'm going to say this: Cohen has never done anything to me. No, he's never taken any of my money. So I mean, he's just gotten on TikTok and said some words. He got his own platform. He does what he wants to do. That's between him and the people that are giving him money. You know, when I give money, you know, because I give people money, as much as they call me a grifter, so to speak, I give money on this app. Whenever I do, I just say, you know, I was always taught to be a cheerful giver. That's it, right? I don't expect anybody to be perfect. I've never met a perfect person. And you know what? A lot of people that I thought loved me in life, I found out they don't love you, you know? And so I think I have normal expectations of people. But one thing that did get to me was the people, especially Democrats or people who claim to be on the left, they want to go around and they want to cancel Michael Cohen and this and that. And I said to myself, do not take this bait that is out here. Okay, and I got to say this. Donald Trump is actively doing everything he can do to thin out the Democrats, all right? And it's sort of like what they did in the 2024 election, you know, get us to start fighting amongst ourselves about things that really, I'll say this, I'll deal with Michael Cohen after the midterms, all right? I'll deal with any personal issues in the party after midterms, perhaps. But what's really important now is you all understand Donald Trump is going to do everything in his power to demoralize the Democrat base to make sure we do not show up and vote. And that's what this is all about. Whether you're talking about invading, toppling the Venezuela and kidnapping Maduro, right? These are all distractions from the Epstein files, by the way. Whether you're talking about him wanting to purchase Greenland, whatever's happening, in terms of the economy, right? You know, these tariffs, right? You hear him doing and saying these things, and it seems crazy, but in a way, it's really not crazy when you see what it's having. The protests and stuff with ICE going on in Minnesota. All of that is designed to take the coalition of the folks in this country that are willing to vote this man and the Republican Party out of office. But when you're getting bombarded with all of these different issues, you know what it'll make the average person do? It'll make you say, you know what? The whole thing is corrupt. I'm done. And if Donald Trump gets you to do that, then he wins. And he's good at what he does. Do not underestimate how clever this man is. As much as we get on him and we talk about his dementia, we talk about his base, make no mistake, the man has a clever game plan, because really, he is scared. He is, and him and his supporters, he only has, the 30% of the people who are in the cult that are supporting him now. And they're really terrified right now. They see the results, what's been happening with all of these special elections and these off-cycle elections. And I believe, honestly, we would be performing a lot better as a party if we did not get distracted and take the bait that Donald Trump is putting out there. And again, what has Michael Cohen done? I'm like, okay, he helped us secure a conviction. He's a terrible person at the end of the day. To some people, he's a terrible person. But at the end of the day, I'm like, he's not out here passing these laws that Donald Trump is. He's not enforcing these inhumane conditions on us. So I just cannot allow myself, I'm going to definitely keep my eyes on things and monitor it, but I can't allow myself to get too wrapped up into what he's got going on. Yeah, I got to make sure that I keep my eyes laser focused on every single one of these folks out here trying to advance Donald Trump's evil, vile, and ruthless agenda. All right. And if you come across my radar, it's not going to be a pretty good look for you. I promise you it will. So that's my thing about it. Do your own research and come to your own conclusion. That's the best thing that I can tell all of those of you out there who are interested in that. Because, people have been asking me, what do you think about the Cohen thing? What do you think about a Cohen? I'm like, you know what? I'll deal with whatever needs to be dealt with after midterms. All right. W Zeus. But again, you do not have to follow my way of handling. You handle it your way. I respect that as well. But, I got bigger fish to fry, so to speak. All right. Now, did I cover everything that I wanted to cover? Well, I gotta be way more measured on this app right now, because this truly is the last account. People say you should create another one. I'm going, when people are working this hard, I say, you know what, I might have to take it to another place if this is really truly something I'm continuing to do. All right, but it's been awesome, to be honest with you, honestly, right? I don't mind, I was in a live yesterday with our good friend Rican, and I loved the live that I was in because I get to actually speak freely in terms of like things that I think and feel. Because when I do the morning show, it's a show, I got to get in here and talk, right? Yeah, but they go, well, why do you talk to these people on the right, Zeus? And I had to say to them, I said, listen. The Democrats, and again, I shouldn't be saying this, but I have to say it. There is a culture war out here, in case you didn't know, and you can't rely solely on facts, data, and statistics to win people over. And so, what I've learned by doing a lot of these debates is, you have to acknowledge, like people like Tiny Tank Top Tim. How many people? Let's be honest. How many people in the country you think are like Tiny Tank Top Tim? How many people in this country do you think exist like that? Am I on Twitch? No. Look at this trash bait. How many people in America you think are like millions? Millions. Thank you. I mean, if we're being sincerely, Rick, right? I mean, if these folks were the minority and they were like really out there, I probably would be like, you know what, give them no energy. But I'm sitting here going, how the heck did Donald Trump get back in the White House? My calculations clearly have been off. I thought they would have came to their senses and seen this demon for what he is. And you never did. You never did. And as a matter of fact, well, yeah, they could have cheated. Some people say that. Yeah, they could have. I don't know how they did it, but he's back in there. I said, okay, so what you got to understand is you got to get into the spaces that they are in and challenge them at all costs. That's the thing that I've been doing on this show. That's why I talk to some of the most difficult people, because I go in there and I'm going to say something, and I'm hoping to God that some of the things that I say, maybe this demon that I'm talking to won't get it, or they'll be defending, they like to do the whole Democrat shuffle. What about Biden? But there are other people out there who are listening in the shadows, and they're going, wow, that was something that I was thinking and feeling, but I didn't know that other people felt that way. And it'll help them ignore the stuff that these folks like Tiny Tank Top Tim and DJ and Trash Bait are out there spewing. And this is what Donald Trump doesn't want us to do. He does not want, he does not want us to shine light in the places that are dark that he occupies. And that's what this is truly about, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this is what it's truly about. And you know what's so amazing? The gerrymandering thing. It's actually, in my opinion, if we keep up the work we're doing, which is shining light in the middle of the darkness, because they say, don't bring that light over here. No, we're going to shine light on it. And if we keep this up, the gerrymandering, it really won't matter. It really won't matter, because I believe the majority of the electorate, they're going to see Donald Trump for who he is, and they're going to say, no, we do not want to continue to go down this path with him and his base anymore. They can go to hell, but we won't. All right, so that's a W, Zeus. Yeah, Kamala did warn us, and I get it. We all have our own strategies to shine light. So I encourage every single one of you. I'm not going to get out here and say that don't do it that way. No, whatever you feel you need to do to expose these people, please do it, and do it safely. And don't push yourself, but do it. There's no real wrong way. There's really no real wrong way. Okay, if that way works for you, you do it. But see, I got a lot of different tools than most people on this app, right? They call me the Rizzler. They do call me the Rizzler. And it's because I'm honest. It's because I'm humble. And it's also because I'm handsome. Yeah. Well, people become the schnazis and stuff like that because these people, they have nothing. The average male in this country, especially if you're talking about young white guys, these folks are broken. And you know why? Because their fathers are broken. Their mothers are broken. And a good illustration of that, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, I went to his live and ended up having to talk to his daughter. For the first time, she actually saw a real man. Can you believe it? I was the first example of what a real man was to his daughter. Think about that. And what did they do to me? They demonized me. They attacked me. Yeah. Why do you say you were her so-called husband, because he wouldn't turn his camera on to validate any of that stuff, right? And people say that when they see real men, real women like all of you, it really bothers them. How can Zeus show me so much respect when I don't deserve it? Right? Yeah. Yeah, this is the question. How can they be so it's because I've read the teachings of Jesus Christ. All right? If some people don't want to vote, but I understand what goes around comes around. And I say to myself, like, okay, no matter what, I don't want that to be the way people look at me and think, like, you know what, this is how he really gets down when the doors are closed. No, I want people to actually see you don't have to be a bad person because someone else is being bad. Because you want to take on the burden that person got going on right now. 9 times out of 10, no. I enjoy, honestly, the freedom and liberties that I truly do have. Big Rob, why are you in my chat trying to support a person that committed such a violent act? You think that people here want to support ICE? Do you understand that Donald Trump's poll numbers aren't doing that well, MAGA? Do you see the division and the chaos that's going on in this great country, or once great country of ours? Do y'all understand this? Because if you did, if you really truly understood it, you wouldn't put that in my chat. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead, Rob. Let's go ahead and send Rob straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Welcome, Nutty. How are you?
Good morning, and happy MLK Day.
Oh, happy MLK Day, bro. Good.
I figured it was today would be the day to get on this account,
yeah,
and give deference, to a king. Dr. King was someone that I grew up hearing stories about from my grandparents,
right,
and learning about 99% of the things that I know about Dr. King, I learned at home. I was not whitewashed in school.
Good.
Because they only wanted to teach "I have a dream" speech. And whenever they wanted you to do something that fitted their narrative, they always said, they want us to judge them by the content of their character. But isn't that what we've been asking for since the annals of time?
Yeah.
But anyway, the picture that you had up with the pastor yesterday, that was the head pastor for the church. There is another pastor within the church that is the field director for ICE.
Oh, okay, and so that's not the same one.
No, that's not the same one. No.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah, that's the senior pastor. But there is a pastor in that church that is the field agent for ICE in St. Paul. Now, here's the thing. People were very upset that the protesters were in this church service. And you know what, Zeus? So was I.
You were upset that the protesters were inside of the church? I don't even call that a church, though, Nutty. Last I checked, we are the church.
Well, true, the church building.
The building, okay.
The reason I was upset is because I truly feel that no one has the right to go in and disrupt worship, no matter if it's a mosque, synagogue. That's just the way I feel. However, something came to my memory. When Jesus, in his ministry,
I remember,
he went into the temple. And what did he do? He started flipping tables.
Why?
Because they were doing things in his name or in God's name that was antithetical to what he was teaching. So
it's supposed to be a place of worship, but they turned it into a den of thieves.
Exactly. And so what I was witnessing yesterday
Somebody said,
was
"What are
like,
you eating?" They say, "What are you eating? Are you eating?"
I'm not eating actually. I wish I were.
Oh,
But so what I witnessed yesterday was the protesters flipping tables because scripture tells us to be angry,
but sin
but
not.
sin not.
Amen.
And so, in order to hold people accountable,
Mm-hmm.
you have to meet them where they are. Isn't that what we keep saying?
Yeah.
Meet people where they are. And in the moment, Zeus, I was conflicted, convicted,
Yeah.
all the everything that you want to think of. I was that yesterday because I had to get out of my own personal feelings
Yeah.
and I had to see where they were coming from. And I was convicted in my own thoughts because I'm like, precisely, they're doing exactly what they were called to do.
Mm.
And if the church cannot be held accountable, then how can we hold anyone accountable? Hold the church accountable. And the fact that you have someone on staff that is supposed to be preaching the love of Christ, the feeding of the hungry,
Yeah.
the clothing of the naked,
True.
and the welcoming of the immigrant.
Mm.
Because the red words talks to us and tells us to welcome the immigrant.
What are you saying, Taurus? Taurus, please listen to what Nutty is saying, please, ma'am. We're
So if you have someone in leadership
yeah.
that is out there being antithetical to the gospel, then you got to call them out.
Thank you.
You got to call them out.
And let's not call it. It's not a church. It's a place of worship at best, right? And again, like you said, if Jesus was to actually have been there, he went in there and he overturned the tables because, like you said, they were in there turning into a place of a den of thieves. They should have totally understood that. I don't understand how they were able to be praying or having so much so-called peace. It's almost like they were praying for the destruction of their own city. That's how it looked to me.
You played something interesting in your monologue.
Mm-hmm.
You played a clip of the pastor saying they won't leave. I've asked them to leave, and they won't leave. You remember playing that?
Yeah.
Well, I would say to the pastor, the people of Minneapolis asked ICE to leave,
Yeah.
and they will not leave.
Amen. Amen.
They won't leave.
No, he didn't, Christina. But Donald Trump breaks the law every day. He doesn't release those Epstein files.
No, Christina, Don Lemon did not break the law. Because guess what, Christina? Here's another interesting fact that Christina fails to miss, Zeus. If you look out the doors of the church, guess who was sitting there? 4 vehicles. 4 Minneapolis Police Department vehicles was sitting outside the church. If they were breaking the law, guess what would have happened, Christina?
I know.
Don Lemon's black behind would have gotten arrested.
Yeah.
So don't say he broke the law, because I was so happy that the police department
Yeah.
did nothing. I was happy about that
Yeah.
because they made their presence known, that we are here monitoring. And if things get out of hand, then we're going to intervene. I am so thankful that they actually, in my opinion, did their job.
Thank you, Nutty. Yeah, and you know what, Nutty? I know that Christina, DJ, Taurus, and Tiny Tank Top, Tim Tom, I know that they deep down in there, whatever is left of their souls, even Dame, I know they agree with you. It's just sad they can't articulate that they agree with you in front of all of us. It really does bother me.
Well,
She is disgusting, Ange. Taurus is disgusting, but Taurus claims to be a Christian.
I will take all those other names and I'll agree with you, except for Dame,
Oh,
because you can't.
Christina, please, come on now.
You can't help. You can't fix stupidity, and Dame is just downright stupid.
Mm.
Because anyone who
But
continues to come after
come on
his
now.
community. No,
It's
no,
Martin
no.
Luther King Jr.'s
I,
day. Come on.
you, and
Don't
Dr.
we got
King
brotherhood? Don't we got some
and
brotherhood that he's supposed to be telling us?
hell, hell no. Dr. King would want me to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell the truth. You got people like Dame that sits there and he champions people going against his own community. But guess what, Dame?
Oh,
If you don't stand up for the least of these, you're
yeah,
not a Christian.
yeah.
Guess what, Dame? If you don't stand up for people who doesn't look like you, who doesn't think like you, who doesn't dress like you, or believe what you believe in, guess what's going to happen, Dame? If you don't speak up for those people when they come after your behind, then no one's going to speak up
Uh-oh,
for
I
you.
gotta remove you. Wow. Oh, oh. Wow, wow, wow. W nutty. Wow. These folks. I am never felt so validated that this show is the scariest thing to MAGA on TikTok than I am right now. So W to all of you. Yeah, they can't handle it. Taurus, where are you at, Taurus? Come on up here. I don't shy away from these difficult conversations, all right? I really don't. Taurus, go ahead and send me a guest request. It's just you and me. I promise you, I'll change your mind. I'll change your mind. Trust me. You don't want to do that. It's honestly, I can imagine though how scared it is. How scared you are, Taurus, to live in the world that you've created for yourself and to know that I'm right and you're not. Good morning, Taurus. I'll be kind. I'll be a little more measured today. How about that?
You will,
Yeah.
thanks. You're
All
not going
right.
to say I'm disgusting. That's real
No,
Christian like.
no, because I would do it, but TikTok has me even. I'm on my, but I will press you on issues. So you believe that those
Not
people who
crying, baby mama.
listen, do you believe those protesters had no right to be inside of that church?
That's correct. They're not. The FACE Act prohibits the interference of individuals seeking religious
Do,
freedom.
do you think that they should
So
be
Don Lemon was in
prosecuted?
the wrong and he needs to be arrested.
Do you think that they should be prosecuted?
Yes, they should be.
I have a situation on my hands that I can't seem to get a clarity on. So, you remember this day in American history called January 6th?
Oh, come on. Are you serious? You remember the Summer of Love in 2017 when they were burning cars in Washington, D.C.? Wasn't that Antifa on the streets
Wait a
and
second.
the
Wait a
people?
second. But I
Huh?
just wanted to point out something. On
Sure.
January 6th, didn't a bunch of Trump voters go inside of a building that was closed?
And 275 FBI agents were in the crowd.
No, no, but this let's just
Yes,
I'm
yes,
I'm
and yes.
I'm a simple person, Taurus. Did those Trump supporters go inside of a building illegally?
No, the Capitol building belongs to the American people. Just so you know, we pay for that building by taxpayers' money.
I get it, but it's a federal building and it was technically closed.
Okay, and
So,
the doors were
so
held open by the
but
Capitol Police and the
he,
FBI
but
agents.
but Taurus, the problem I'm having with you is you're making a claim that protesters should not be allowed to
That
go
was
inside
like
of a
6 years
building.
ago. Are you guys gonna like move on from that, or are you just gonna continue on and on and on about January 6th because that's all you have?
No, but you know why I'm bringing this up? I don't understand how you believe on one side it's okay and then on the other side it's not. That's the part that blows my
Because
mind
you're not
every time.
supposed to be in a church. We have religious freedom.
Okay,
We
stop
also
there.
have a right to protest. So, yeah, the Capitol building, we do have a right to protest, and we own that building. So, yes.
Do you have the title or the deed or any legal paperwork that says you're legally
Yeah, it's
authorized?
called I pay taxes
No,
weekly out of my paycheck to keep that building going every freaking year.
okay, but
Yes.
Taurus, how many federal buildings do you own then using that logic?
Well, then we the people own every single one of them.
So your argument and what you're saying today is I can go into any federal building whenever I want to because I
We
pay
don't own the
tax.
churches, do we?
Well, you know what? It belongs to God, right?
It, bel- do we own the church?
It belongs to God. Remember,
Okay.
we are the church
So
technically. It's just
if you're breaking the FACE Act, then Don Lemon should be arrested, which
Tor-
that's what they're calling for at this point.
but Taurus, there's a couple of things, and honestly, I just need you to make this point or make it understand where I'm coming from. If you're going to say that those people who went inside of a building that was open at the time, right, protest the church. If they weren't protesting, I'm pretty sure that the church would have welcomed them, right?
Of course, if you're
So
going to sit
so
down in a
so
pew and be quiet and pray,
so
yes.
okay. So
If
they
you're going to come
literally
in and disrupt someone's
okay.
religion, then no.
Okay, but Taurus, they went inside of a building where it was supposed to be a place where people who considered themselves to be Christians were dwelling. And they should have been received because these are people who are in pain. And instead of being received,
Glenn
they
Lemon
were
isn't in pain. That man is a
Tor, Tor,
wannabe. He was arrested for SA of another man. So no, that man
Taurus,
he was a wannabe. He wants to be a
Taurus,
Megyn Kelly. He
Taurus,
wants to be a Tucker Carlson.
Taurus.
He will never be any of that.
You know what I'm going to say when you make claims like that? I'm going to say, then how do you justify supporting a person who was found liable for committing SA?
He wasn't liable for committing SA.
Yeah, he was.
First of all, let me ask you a
No,
question.
Taurus,
Let's go.
Taurus.
You
So
want to
that's
keep going
two.
back? Let's go
Taurus,
back to that. I want to go
Taurus.
back to
That's
that.
two. Taurus. That's two
Well, Zeus, let me
situations.
cover that point.
But
Okay, so
are you at least going
wait,
to acknowledge that every time you claim you stand for something,
no,
I can find a scenario that proves you really don't. Could you at
no.
least acknowledge
Well,
that?
how
Because
about we go back to
whether
Trump's
it's
thing?
with
Because I would love to talk about that.
okay, but let me finish this part there. I just want you to know we're keeping score. Right now, you don't have any points because you can't say you have a problem with people going inside of a place that's closed, but then at the same time justify what Trump voters did on January 6th, and you cannot use the argument you have a problem with somebody being, doing SA,
So we're
right?
back to
Because
the
you voted
summer
for
of
Donald Trump.
love. We're back to the
So
summer
you're
of
still at
love.
zero. I got 2
Right? You
points.
guys burned down cars in Washington, D.C. and stores and other states. We did that in the summer of love, right?
What
Because
president
Trump
was
was in
involved in
office.
that?
Isn't that what we did?
What
That's what you
president?
guys did,
What
right? And
president?
every day you guys cause
I got
protesting
it.
in the streets, you unrest in the streets. You didn't do this under Obama. Obama gave Tom Homan a medal, didn't he, for doing this?
Doing what? No,
Doing what ICE is doing.
no, he didn't.
Yes, he did in
No, no, Taurus.
2015. Why
Do
don't
you
you look
have
it up?
do you have an issue? Do you
But
have a
the
scenario? Hold
same
on.
exact thing
Can I at
that
least
they're
respond
doing
to you?
now,
Can I at least
Obama
respond?
gave Tom
Taurus,
Homan a
Taurus, I
medal.
didn't. Taurus. Now people say you're a bad person. I'm trying to give you the
I'm
benefit
not a
of the
bad
doubt. I'm
person. You
trying to give you
people
the
are bad
benefit.
people.
Okay,
You
but
people want little kids murdered by illegals. You want little
oh,
kids
okay.
SA'd
Can
by
you stop,
illegals. You
Taurus?
people want women.
I gotta calm you down, Taurus. And I gotta calm you down because you're starting to get a little carried away, and I don't want a lot of misinformation circulating on my platform. So
Well, it's not
if
misinformation. It's truth. An
it is,
8-year-old little girl and her
can
father was just murdered.
okay, but Taurus, can I slow you down? Otherwise, if you don't want to actually have a very meaningful conversation,
No,
then
you don't. No, you don't
I'm
like
gonna
the
have to
truth.
drop. I'm
Anytime
gonna
I
have to. I'm
start to
gonna
say
have
the
to kindly.
truth,
I'm gonna
you
have to
like to sit
kindly.
there and mute me.
I have to kindly ask you to stop.
So do you
Okay.
think an illegal who shouldn't be driving a car and then winds up murdering a family because they don't know how to drive should be still here in America?
No.
So you think an illegal
Did you?
who
Did I? Were you
SA
here,
is a
Taurus?
child,
Taurus.
do
Were
you
you
think
here?
they should still be here?
No, I said no. Now listen.
Okay.
Were you here this morning when I talked about this guy? And I'm
No,
gonna tell
it
you what he
was
did.
not.
His name is Thomas Stokes, and what he did was he used his Bible to SA children and gave them
Okay.
rugs and gave them rugs.
Okay. And
Should he be allowed in this country?
if he's a citizen, he should be in jail in this country.
No, I asked you, should he be allowed in this country?
If
Yes or
he's a
no?
citizen, yes, and he should be in jail in this country. If he's not a citizen, he should be deported.
Where's the outrage?
What means outrage?
You
We
didn't
have
even-
outrage all the time over this.
So Taurus, here's my problem with you. You spend so
So
much time attacking
you
the
only
people.
see
Taurus,
you
Taurus,
people are only
Taurus,
for
Taurus,
criminals.
Taurus, I gotta stop you. You spend all day long
Oh
going
my
after
God.
folks.
We pay for these criminals to be in
Okay,
jail.
okay, Taurus, you're not even being reasonable. So what I'll do is this, because it's so
I am
hard.
being reasonable.
No,
See my
it's so
son-in-law, my son-in-law.
it's so hard, Taurus, to get you to at least zip it. All right, and so if you want to come back up here at a certain point, Taurus, and be more calm and talk and try to get to the bottom of things together, then we can do that. But I'll say this, Taurus. it bothers me that it's really your hypocrisy. You got on the people who went inside of a church, a place that they should have shown the fruits of the Spirit, but they didn't, right? And it's not a church, it's a building. And you said they shouldn't have been there, and they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, FACE Act. But when I asked you, what about what happened on January 6th when those Trump voters went and brought weapons, pew-pews, things that'll stun you, irritants and things like that, and they went inside of a federal building that was closed? You lied and you said, oh no, we own those buildings. And I said, well, show me the deed. Show me the lease agreement that you have. You didn't do that. Instead, you leaned on a claim that because you pay taxes, you have the rights to all federal buildings in the United States. That's a lie, Taurus. That's a lie. And what you're doing is you're trying your hardest to have your cake and eat it too. And I don't buy it. I don't buy it. If that's your position, then you should be able to condemn the people who did what they did on January 6th. Case closed. But at least you have a more accurate case on January 6th, because that's a federal building that was actually closed. All right? The church, that's open to the people in the community. You don't know if those people in the community have been tithed into that church. You don't know if they've been paying taxes to help that church be able to be there. You don't know anything. You just can't tell somebody because you went in a church and didn't praise the God they were telling you to praise that they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. That is wrong, Taurus, and you know it. Then you wanted to turn around and demonize Don Lemon, a black man in America, for crimes you say were against SAing. And again, it's the hypocrisy. Because how do you do that while at the same time propping up this guy who you know has been found liable of committing SA and defamation and had 26 other women accuse him? And I didn't even get into the whole Katie Johnson and the Lake Michigan stuff and the limo driver, etc., who's openly defying the law by not releasing the Epstein files. So, Taurus, I gave you a shot to actually prove you were a reasonable person, and you weren't. And that's why I had to ask you, please get back into the comment section, because this is too much for you to handle. It's too much for a lot of you to handle. So let me move on to the next guest, ladies and gentlemen. This is sad. It's really sad that I have to spend so much time with people who know better. You should know better. Good morning,
Hey,
Takesha.
Zeus.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm all right. You know, I'm on borrowed time, so you gotta
Listen,
you
there's a saying: the doors of the church are always open.
true.
That's to anybody. That's to the drunk, the drug addict, the protesters. If they always open, they allowed to come on in. Zeus.
Yeah. Come on, come
That,
as you
that's what
are.
the,
Come as
that's
you
what the
are.
saying is. The doors of the church are always open. So listen, Zeus, let me address some with Taurus right quick, because I get sick of them saying this. We pay taxes. We own the Capitol. We go in when we get ready. What is the White House called, Zeus?
The people's house.
So we can just walk in there when we get ready, Zeus, because it's our house?
If I were you, especially a person of color, I wouldn't try.
I'm asking a question, Zeus, because since we own the Capitol, and they
personally,
said they said January 6th, because we own it, we could just walk in there when we get ready. Can we just walk through the doors of the White House when we get ready, since it's called the People's House, Zeus?
between you and me, no.
Okay,
All right?
so they just need to shut up.
Okay.
Now, I want to address something that y'all talked about Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't need a little lesson on the Lord.
Okay.
Let me get in one right quick.
Go ahead.
You asked Dame a question. He said the Lord come first and foremost in his life. That what Dame said.
Yeah.
And you remember that day I told you that Dame said Donald Trump was his role model?
Yeah.
After all Jesus did for you, your role model is a human being that's perishable, but it ain't Jesus Christ, but God the first in your life.
Yeah.
He said he go around. He said he wanted to talk to the people in the trans community because he, basically want their soul saved so they can go to heaven.
Yeah.
Zeus, let me say this right quick.
Go ahead.
Because I told you Dame a modern day Pharisee.
Yeah.
There's a scripture in the Bible that says, let the wheat and the tare grow together, and I'll do the separating. Because you'll pull up the tare, you'll pull up the wheat thinking you pulling up the tare. You know what that scripture means?
What's that?
You don't know who gonna make it in. Because you would think you won't make it in, And you will be the one that perish, and the person you think ain't gonna make it in will be the one that get in, Zeus. My thing is this. God don't care nothing about what you say to no trans people when you still got your sins on display, dame.
Yeah.
Instead, you gonna come to me in that day and say, Lord, I did this in your name. Lord, I talked to the transgender community. I tried to get them saved. I did all that in your name. He gonna say, man, go on. I don't even know you. So be careful with that, dame. You are not saved. It shows in everything you do. Just because you say God and Lord, baby, that does not make you saved. It's your fruit that you bear, and your fruit is rotten to the core. To the core.
Go ahead, Takesha.
So rotten till it's falling off the tree, just sitting there. Ain't nothing Christ-like about you. Period. Point blank. Just like Caroline Lovett keep wearing that cross around her neck. You notice that everybody wear a cross, Zeus. They don't show no signs of being saved.
Right?
Cause they think that necklace is their protection. It ain't protecting them from anything. So I wanted to get that little lesson today right quick. Stop saying you trying to help folks get in when you probably ain't gonna even make it, to be honest. But you need to be worried about your own. The Bible said work out your own soul salvation.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Lord know who he gonna invite in and who he ain't. The book of life is already written.
Yeah. Yeah. How we know God didn't send them protesters? You know what I'm saying?
Listen, Zeus.
You know what I'm saying? How we know God ain't actively involved right now in what's happening in Minnesota to help, reveal himself to these folks out here professing that they Christians?
Let me say this, Zeus. Everything that's going on has already been written in that book of Revelation. Point blank, period, Zeus. Ain't nothing going on a surprise. If they take the time to read it, they'll see everything that's going on. This is the nations coming together, Zeus. It's a setting up for Armageddon. Nobody know. They ain't reading the word, Zeus. Period, point blank. All they doing is round here. Black folks want to argue what color God is. Because it's hell like war. That ain't what it means. Hell like war means his wisdom. Eyes like flame of fire mean his judgment. Ain't got nothing to do with describing what he looked like, but we know what he looked like because of where he came from.
Amen.
And because the scripture said that he went and hid among those that look like him. You can't hide if you don't look like him. You got to get some knowledge of that word, and you ain't going to get the knowledge if God don't give it to you. And that's really all I wanted to say.
Amen.
We're not concerned about Donald Trump. We're not scared of Donald Trump. Because when Donald Trump get through, he going to be just like that king that was out there eating grass with the goats.
Amen. Tell him, Takesha. Let that be a lesson. All right. Well, thank you, sis. All right. I appreciate you. All right.
You're welcome, sweetie.
You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. That's my sister, Takesha. No lies detected. And yeah, I have the sign in the background. What about Biden? I forgot to put it up. That's what I think I'm going to start calling the second half of my show when I start interacting with MAGA, particular. What about Biden? Yeah. Every time I see something on X now, I go in there and I just reply, what about Biden? Because that's all y'all got. That's all you all have. You have no solid way of justifying any of this stuff you all are supporting right now. And I keep telling you, Trump supporters, just name one thing Donald Trump has done to actually help you. Name one thing he's done to help you, and you can't give me and I take away the whole securing the border thing because nobody believes that. Nobody believes that. All right, who do I got next? And Taurus, you should apologize to the community for what you did and what you said up here, Taurus. Seriously. All right, moving it along. All right.
What's going on, bro?
Not much. Just doing what I do.
It's amazing how demons follow you on a day-to-day basis, from live to live, address to address, job to job.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, the demons are gonna follow you. And Takesha hit it right on the nail.
Amen.
All this is everything that y'all try to do and try to change and try to put it in your favor. It's already prophesied in the Bible. God already put in his plan. You can't change his plan. No matter how much you try.
Yeah.
You are a human being. He created you whether you good or bad. No matter what. And it's just funny how Taurus came up there and you presented that picture of that white tee man.
Yeah.
She had so much conviction on everything else she was saying, but as soon as you asked her about that white tee man that raped children and did all those evil things, well, yeah, well, if he did, no, why don't you keep that same energy, Taurus? Because we know what is embedded in your spirit.
Yeah, I asked her, I said, so do you think he should be deported and not allowed to be in this country? And she actually said no. Keep that nasty man here.
Oh, no. See
That's
see
what
the
you
thing.
said, Taurus. You literally said keep the nasty guy
No,
here.
we don't want to bring you back up there because you done said enough. You said enough. And it's just funny how y'all demonize my boy. Y'all talk about him in other lives, but y'all constantly, this is a third account, but you constantly here. You here. Third account down in right now. So we know the reason why you here. It ain't no different. It ain't no different than when the devil was when Jesus was praying and the devil was behind him. Oh, why are you praying?
Yeah.
What you gonna change?
Yeah.
See, we know exactly what was coming in that demonic mouth of yours.
Oh.
We see it clear as day. So all that you want to come up here and pop your stuff, nah, you keep your behind back down in the cheap seats.
I gave her, Taurus, listen, going against my better judgment, I literally opened up my box to try to at least reach out to you and talk to you, and you wouldn't even answer some of the most simple, basic questions that I was asking. So I felt like you were just trying to get up here and weaponize my platform, and you wouldn't want to do that, Taurus, right? You wouldn't do that.
And see, the thing is, Zeus, they think, well, we'll get his account banned. We'll get his account. Do you realize how many of Jesus' followers is in this kingdom right about now? Why do you think he calls it the kingdom? So you got to understand you got to understand logic. And if your brain is not functioning to understand what's right in front of your face, you'll never get it. It's a reason why his name is Zeus. It's a reason why we call it the kingdom.
Yeah.
You talk about going to worship in a building, this, that, and the other, when you don't even realize the church should be in you. And if you got the devil in your spirit, it will never be in you.
Amen. Now, Q-Dog, you brought up something that I think is interesting. So we call this a kingdom in a way, and don't they come inside of this kingdom uninvited?
Uninvited.
Should they be prosecuted like they're claiming those people in Minnesota should be?
Exactly. Like I told you earlier, some of these demons, you gotta kick out the kingdom, block them, prevent them from coming into the door. Because I'm gonna tell you this, even though it's a mythological creature, but when you talk about vampires don't come into your home unless you invite them. But we know that y'all are vampires out there waiting to jump in. And see, you have a door where that can't block you. So you just barge your way in and let me come up. Tiny Tank Top Tim, DJ, y'all here on every platform. But you still have nobody, alter ego. You still have nobody that really wants to listen to you. This is your only platform to be able to listen to. Be able to be listened to, because nobody's going to come to your platform. If Zeus came to your platform, Tiny Take Top Tim, he did you a favor. Ain't nobody coming to listen to you. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. So let's make this very, very clear. If you really truly believe that everything that comes out of Zeus's mouth, my mouth, Nutty's mouth, Takesha's mouth, Shay's mouth, a vow's mouth. Everybody that's in this kingdom, if you really truly believe that, stay away.
It would mean
Stay
a lot.
away.
It would mean a lot in a way. Yeah, you're right.
When you see stranger danger, what do? You stay away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you really believe that, don't come back. But we know that's not going to happen because you got too much in your spirit that you want greed. It's called greed. You want the acknowledgement. You want the accolades. You want people to hear your voice, whether you saying right things or wrong things. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the wrong thing. Only what that 1% is only so you could get somebody to be on your side just a little bit. You can't go all the way 10 and say all the wrong things. You got to say something just to, reel some people in and try to get them to believe the rhetoric that you talk on a day-to-day basis. That's why you come into his kingdom. That's why you come into his life every day.
Yeah. Tell him, Q-Dog. Tell him, Q-Dog. All right, brother. Thank you. See, you can say what I say. You can say what I can't say now because you see how they got me right now. They got me on my knuckles.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, one MAGA ain't going to stop no soul. He may not be able to call you disgusting Taurus, but I said all day long. All day long.
Yeah. No lies detected. There you go. All right. Thank you, Q-Dog.
Happy MLK JR.
Same to you.
They wish they had a day like this. MAGA wishes. That's the reason why they fight so hard to try to get a day like this. You will never get a day like this.
Fair enough. Thank you. No lies.
I'm in the comments, bro.
All right.
What up, man? What up, Zeus, man?
It's MLK Jr. Day.
Happy MLK Day, Zeus, man.
Well, okay, so you wanted 30 seconds, and is that what you said you needed to say something to Big Zeus?
Yeah. I'm not going to do nothing crazy. I just want to respond to, once again, man, my name being brought up and slandered for no reason. I don't know, why people just wake up and over 1,000 people, they get to speak on something. They choose to speak about me. I just want to say how that blows up my ego.
Okay.
When I leave here. I feel like Michael. See, Zeus? All right, come on. And this is the thing, Zeus. I do like it. I like your show. And for all the people that says the hateful stuff about me, lying, saying I'm reporting Zeus, I would like to argue, why am I the #1 gifter every day? If I'm hating on Zeus, reporting his page, telling people, why am I the #1 gifter every time I'm here? No, I'm talking to the chat, Zeus. Because everybody that's defaming me haven't sent you 1 penny.
Well, they don't have to.
Not 1 penny. But they're saying, no, it's not that, Zeus. It's they're saying, I'm reporting, but I give you support every day. I give you support, bro. So why would I support you and then report you? And people that don't support you haven't given you a penny because we can see it. They haven't sent anything but a freaking thumb tap telling me I'm reporting. I'm not, bro.
Okay, if it's not true, then don't worry about it. And don't make it about the gifting, all right? Because that takes away from the messaging, right?
I'm trying to get them to just give you something, bro, because like
they don't have to.
I'm literally no, but I want them to because they're sitting here. Well, I prefer them too because that helps you. That helps your algorithm. Rick C is the only one that gives them.
Okay, W. Rick, but here's the thing. What this has been about, because a lot of people have been following me, and I would say there's a lot of different things they do to actually support what I do. I mean, they'll go in and see me debating MAGA. They'll do things there. They'll share my videos. They come to the live actually and riz it up. You know what I'm saying? It's a community of people who are actually supporting in the best way they can. But here's the thing, Dave. I believe that a lot of people in this country are really not as good doing well financially to a certain degree because of Donald Trump. Don't you think the best way to support Big Zeus is to stop supporting Donald Trump? You see how I did that to you? You see how I did that?
I mean, that's another.
You want to trick me? It's like a manipulation style you got, right? You're gonna make me suffer because you're putting Donald Trump in the White House, and then you're gonna give me a couple of crumbs to be like, now, see, I'm trying to help you, and I'm like, I've been down that path before, bro. But nice try. I know, and that's how the devil tends to manipulate people. They try to make you think they're on your team when they really not. But on the other side of that, you should be paying, honestly. When you think about all the game and the knowledge and the information that I've been giving you, you really should be paying. Actually, I would charge MAGA. MAGA should be paying not just myself, but most of the Democrat creators. They should, because we're out here literally educating you all, right? Because you're not doing your research. We're educating you all, and you just spew hatred towards us, and you're making things a lot worse in this country than you should. So if it was up to me, I would make MAGA pay every Democrat content creator on this app for the information that we actively push out that you all fight us on, because at the end of the day, that's what's needed. Fair enough?
Well, yeah, all right.
Okay,
Well,
fair enough, fair enough.
And
The last thing is this. You said something that really got to me. You said they talking about
you
you,
wasn't
Dan.
fair to You wasn't fair to Taurus, by the way. Taurus was nice to you. She wasn't disrespectful, and she really
was
cooked
lying.
you.
She's
I
lying.
hope somebody recorded that.
Hold on. She's lying, and when you're lying in my face, it is disrespectful. But I'll say this: nobody thinks about you, Dame. I'm gonna be honest with you. They don't think about you. So rest assured.
Why when they come up here do
No.
they mention me then?
No.
Why when they come up here you could talk about everything in the world, your TDS, you could talk about your life. You take your time to come up here in front of all these beautiful people to talk about Dame.
Would you like us
like
to
I
never,
don't even know most of you
would you like us to never mention your name and just turn you into an irrelevant person? Would you like that? Would that make you feel better?
Zeus, you're the only reason I'm here, bro.
Okay,
literally.
I get it, but no one's talking about you. And I'm saying you got to be more humble, all right? Seriously. And we talk about a lot of different Trump voters. I talk about so many. It's hard to keep up.
Zeus, this is.
I'm
look
just
how
being
much
honest
growth
with
this
you.
is, Zeus. I came up here. I feel you, but look, I came up here and I didn't respond and say nothing negative about Miss Keisha. She's still a child of God, even though she did that, and I still respect her. She has to deal with God about what she just said to me.
I get it.
But that's growth, Zeus. The old me would have came up here and just spazzed out. So
I get
God bless you, Miss Keisha.
Okay.
That's, and that's what it is,
okay.
Zeus.
So
but look, man,
that's
you're
evolving.
on the wrong side of history.
Okay, that's where you went wrong, brother.
You're on the wrong side of history.
Okay.
You're on the wrong side of history, Zeus. You're a good guy.
Okay.
You're a good guy, but you're with the wrong people.
Okay, so. And there you go. And so I don't need to be lectured by that, Dame. Come on now. I do commend you, honestly. You're getting a little bit better with managing the anger and the outrage, but you can't get in here and then start acting like you the king and, people want to always talk about Dave. No, they talk about Big Zeus. They talk about Big Zeus, Dave, not you, okay? I don't know where you went that far. I was like, wait a second now. There's a couple things in the kingdom you can't do. One, you know what Nutty does, claim he's more handsome, but then you get into the kingdom, Dame, and start acting like you it. Not gonna work on my platform. That's actually treason. That's the worst thing you can do. And then you try to trick. Oh, Zeus, I gave you, a couple of coins, and I like. Oh, okay. So I sold my soul to you for a couple of coins. Knock it off, Dame. But then the second thing is this. You said that I was wrong, Dame. No, I'm not wrong. Taurus is wrong. You're wrong. And you never told me whether or not you stand for what Martin Luther King Jr. stood for. And that's also what makes you, in my opinion, a bit of a traitor. Now, I could send you to hell, but it's Martin Luther King's Jr. Day. I'm on my last account. So I'll just say, Dame, if this was any other situation, I would send you to hell. But I'm not, because, I got to be a little bit more measured. And then I'll say this, W. Zeus, you don't get to come into my kingdom. No, somebody can do it on their show, all right? TikTok is monitoring Big Zeus, all right? He said he needed 30 seconds, and that was the second lie. You needed way more than 30 seconds to get that out, and no one believes it. Does anyone believe what Dame said? I'm going to be honest. Let's just get this out of the way. Does anyone believe what Dame said? Let me just ask the audience real quick. No. So that was all. Thank you. W to the chat. You see that, Dame? Now you got to take this back to you. You literally huffed and puffed for 2 minutes straight, and no one batted an eye. No one believes any of it, and that's the problem. That's the problem. You can't be thinking too highly of yourself. All right, he was a good filler, right, Rick? Right, VIP? Oh yes, oh yes, oh yeah. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta settle this real quick. I gotta settle this too. Yoo-hoo.
How's the cult doing today?
I was waiting for you. So listen up. I thought about the conversation that you and I had. I was disappointed in you more. I'm very
Okay.
disappointed in you now more than I've ever been disappointed. W.
Okay.
Kabira, all right?
And that matters why?
Hey, Kabira, you don't please, Kabira.
And that matters
You've done
why?
so much.
Hold on. That matters
You've done
why
so
that you're
much,
disappointed
Kabira.
in me. Why does it matter?
Okay, so here's the deal. I've never met your daughter, right?
Okay.
But she had a lot of nasty things to say about me.
Because she's listened to you before.
And she could just go around and
see. This is what I don't understand about you, Zeus. We're not allowed to talk about you or your guests, but you guys are very, very good at talking about us. Why is that?
So here's the thing. I'm upset because you allowed her to get up.
Well, no, answer my question. Why is it? Why are you allowed to talk about us?
I'm
but
not
we
talking
can't talk about you
because you're a mean person. That's why, and we're not mean people.
Oh, did I hurt your feelings?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, you didn't hurt my feelings. But I'll say this, Tom. I'll say this. You know, it's one thing. It's one thing for you to just be a bad person, but it's another thing for you to be proud to be a bad person, right? And
who says I'm a bad person?
Me. And what I want to say is,
and that matters why?
Because
there's a lot more people in my life that know I'm not a bad person, but because Zeus says I'm a bad person.
Yeah. So what I'll do is this. Now I muted you, so you can't say it's the mods. All right. You went out and you lashed out.
But
hold on.
Explain that to me, Zeus.
Can you listen?
Why should my life be over because you think I'm a bad person?
Can you listen? Oh, thank you, Dave. You're doing the right thing. So I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. So you're defending this person, Donald Trump, right? And you've heard.
I'm not defending him at all.
You've heard
I've
a lot.
I've never defended him.
Well, you still support him, right? Because he's not a Democrat, right?
I voted for him.
Yeah. So you support him.
Hey, I'm getting a phone call. Hold on. I'm getting a phone call. Wait, I don't have to answer it. Hold on. I don't have to answer it. I can just go get the door.
You do.
It's just letting me know that somebody's at the front door.
Okay. All right. Well, then you take care of that.
I didn't have to go anywhere. Hold on.
You take care of that. You take care of that. Tiny TikTok, Tim. Tom, you're a little distracted, and actually, you know, you're rough. I'll say this. When I had to encounter the family, it was a family reunion, ladies and gentlemen, and he brought his daughter and her daughter's daughter, or her daughter's boyfriend, I guess. I don't know. He called himself husband. And I sat there, and they made a bunch of lies. They made a lot of accusations about Big Zeus. They said, oh, he spreads nothing but hatred. And they claimed, get this, you claimed that I was running a cult. I'm not running a cult. So that was a lie. Yeah, you were on that live. Yeah, they claim that all of you, you're all being radicalized by me. But yet, like Q Dog said, they come to my show every morning. Every morning, I want to hear what Zeus and I want to hear what Kabira has to say. I want to hear what Rick is. I want to see what Rick is doing. I want to hear what Jim is saying. I want to hear what Val. You know, Val. They had a lot of nasty words about Brother Val, and I said, so you listen to everything that we say. Why do you come? And he said, oh, it's because I love a good clown show. Meanwhile, the whole country's going down in flames. Your daughter accused me of not even being educated. I got more education than she does. Way more education. Your son-in-law bragged and said he got 6 figures, $100,000 coming in with the lines across, right? But he allows you to live in a very desolate situation. You turned your camera on. You turned your camera on and showed us, you know, the 4 corners that you have that you get to dwell in. How so small you drop a rag, it gets wall-to-wall carpeting. I could have said that, but I didn't say that. I held back. But then you come on to my show and you say some of the sickest, most disgusting things that I've ever heard coming from a person that's in a very terrible situation. Yeah. And I'm convinced that you're so ignorant you don't even know what you're saying sometimes. So I'm giving you the feedback that you've been craving. The reason that a lot of people don't like you, sir, it's because your mouth and the fact that you're ugly. I could say that, but TikTok would get on me, right? Some people say that you're not that attractive, I should say. How about that? So when you're ugly on the outside, that's one thing. But when you're ugly on the inside, now that's something. That's something. You worked real hard to be such a sick person, a sick man. And that's why people say what they say about you. It has nothing to do with me running a cult. You and your mascot, MAGA Queen, you really both should just take a break. All right? Because you owe us all on TikTok an apology. We've invested so much energy getting the truth out there, and every single bit of it goes over your head. You know what he said? I said, how do you know that what you're doing is right? Who gives you your feedback? He says he gives himself feedback. He said, and he told me this story. This is the story that I said, it's over. He went to college, ladies and gentlemen, community college, once upon a time. Kabir, you're going to like this. The professor, it was an audio-visual class, he said. The professor said one word. All right, one word. And I don't know what that word was. I think it was, you are here to learn. And Tiny Tank Top Tim said that. Now, that's a lie. When the professor said that, you are here to learn to the students, he told the professor, you're lying. And he dropped out. I said, wow, that's wicked, bro. That's crazy stuff. That's the reason he didn't go to college. Did y'all know that? Because the professor told him he was there to learn, and he said, what? That's a lie. And he left. And he said he's never been back. And then he's living his best life. That's sad, right? So what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sorry to drag y'all into this, but I needed to actually interact with him for that brief moment. Join me in giving this man what he truly deserves, another round of the Lake of Fire.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
If I'm lying, I apologize. If I'm lying, I apologize. But Tiny Tank Top Tim, am I lying? Am I lying about that? So you can't let people, because he says, they go, how do you deal with it? I said, when you see you're talking to somebody that has that kind of a issue, that's really just not doing that great, can they really say anything to ruin my day? You really can't say anything to ruin my day, all right? So that's a huge W. And I'm so sorry to drag you all into that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry, but it's MLK Day, and I'm on my third account. Good morning, Brother Val. How are you doing?
How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Doing really good. Doing really good. Hey, here, I want to remind you of a statement.
Mm-hmm.
I will tear it down and rebuild it in 3 days. See, when y'all people talk about Jesus, and you come up here and claim that you understand about Jesus, and you talk about the flipping tables, you probably don't even know he did it twice.
Yeah.
One when he first started preaching, and one at the end. What was he trying to really tell? What was he really trying to tell us then? You know what I'm saying? Well, what he was really trying to tell us in short form, because y'all will not go read, is that not doing the business of God in a place of worship will not be tolerated. That's what he was trying to tell us. Okay? So the flipping of the tables was in getting all the money off the tables, was in saying that the house of God is not a place of business. It is a place of worship. And that is what, you know what I'm saying? And y'all keep going through this stuff, and y'all keep saying, like, well, I'm going to be honest with you. If you were to meet Jesus today, Magna, you would not like him.
They wouldn't.
You would not like who Jesus is. You would not like who Jesus stands for. You would not like anything about Jesus. And I'll tell you what, because I've told this story before. Anybody that knows the story of my daughter and her baptism into a church, where I got into an argument in the church with the pastor.
You did?
When he decided that politics needed to be part of this deal, I absolutely lost it.
Good.
This is what we're supposed to do. When the church is not doing God's business, it is no longer a church. That is why Jesus said, I will tear it down and rebuild it in 3 days. This is, so when you talk about these things, you might want to educate yourself on them.
No, you got. what we're
and the
talking about.
Taurus.
Yeah.
5 years, 13 days, and almost exactly 23 hours ago.
Yeah.
January 6th. No, ma'am. We will never let go of January 6th.
Summer of love.
Listen to what I'm telling you. Oh, and by the way, I don't know what this 2017 Summer of Love BS is you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because the Summer of Love was in 1967.
Oh gosh. Wow, Val, these folks, they just throw anything out there. Wow.
But we will never forget. And for you to come up here and spew the BS you spew. We have laws, ma'am. You might want to look them up. You know what I'm saying? It's this cute little thing. It's called the Constitution. And from the Constitution, we've created these things called laws. Okay? The law says you could not be on that ground that day because that particular building was doing the people's work.
Amen. Yeah.
Okay? That is what you need to understand.
You hear that, Taurus?
These are the things that drive me absolutely insane. And you said you just have a right to walk on the building.
She said that.
Well, if you're invited, you have the proper paperwork to go to that building. Yes, you can go in, but no one was invited that day.
Wait a second, Val. If she pays her taxes, according to her, she owns the buildings. Is that how it works?
Ma'am, the building is owned by 350 million of us. Okay?
Yeah.
Therefore, there's laws in place that say when you can visit the building, when you can come by. But when it is doing the people's work, you're not invited.
Yeah.
Welcome to the real world.
Amen.
Okay? This is no fantasy.
He said they were invited by Trump. Conservative Democrat, you don't believe that. That's a terrible excuse to break the law.
Guess what? Guess what? It's called the three co-equal branches of government. You know, Article 1, Article 2, and Article 3 for a reason. The president doesn't have any extra power over the House of Representatives.
Wow.
And he also doesn't have any extra power over the judicial branch. Jesus.
It's amazing that they're now admitting Trump invited them to the Capitol January 6th. These folks, they go so far to defend this man and even destroy their own narratives. All right, Val, seriously, you can't make this stuff up.
No, these people will never learn. But like I said, Taurus, we will never forget that day. Oh, and Taurus, by the way, protesting in this country by our First Amendment calls for peace.
Right.
Calls for words,
Amen.
Not violence.
Thank you. Thank you. All right then, Brother Val. Thank you. You cooked and you booked. All right.
One last thing.
Yes.
One last thing. For people down there that want to put my name in their mouth, that's fine. I don't care. Unlike, you know what I'm saying? Unlike Dame that cries about it all the time, I really don't care.
Me either. Thank you.
But let me tell you what you really hate. Let me tell you what you really hate. You hate education. You hate that people call you out on BS and then bring receipts to show you. You hate that because that destroys your narrative of lies.
Yeah, you hate being
exposed. If you want to come in here and be godly like, quit telling lies.
Thank you.
Actually look up the BS that you see on these apps. Actually go find and research the stories that are out there.
Hallelujah.
Okay? Because when you come up here and preach this, you're not doing God's work. You're doing the devil's work.
Preach.
And the devil comes in many forms.
Preach on, Brother Val. Val hasn't lied not one time. Not one time. And they come here to listen to you too, Val. They say it's me, but when they say Zeus, I say it's not me. All right, because you know I'm the nice one. They're really talking to you, Jim, Shay, Angela, Kabira. That's what they're doing, and they're getting it. They're letting out their anger because you all do an outstanding job, just exposing all of their lies in real time. You unpack them in real time, and you get in the box. You don't even need to interact with them. Nutty too, and you just call them out on their lies, and that's why they're upset.
Right. I mean, the whole thing's this: we're on a public app.
Correct.
Okay, we're on an app that anybody can get on. When we choose to do that, we choose to take any criticism or positivity that we might get from this app. It will go both ways. Okay? Whether you like it or not, whether you like my opinions or not, I don't care. Here, listen to what I'm telling you. I don't care. If I can get people in this room right now, almost 1,000 people in this room right now,
Wow.
if one listens to me and one picks up a book and one actually goes and read what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
I've done what I've intended to do.
Amen. 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 W. Val. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. And now Val's tapped in this morning. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Look at you got him crying in the chat. W. Val. I don't know how you do it, but I appreciate it. All right, we're gonna try to move it on and get some of our
Thank y'all,
mutuals up
everybody.
here.
Y'all
All
have
right,
a great day.
All right, you too, ladies and gentlemen. W's in the chat for Val. No lies detected. Thank you. Yeah. This, we do this because we genuinely love our country, and that's what Dame doesn't understand. But I hope Dame at a certain point acknowledges that. That's what this has all been about. None of us, there was a saying from my good friend Attacking. He said, we wouldn't be going live. This is what he said. We wouldn't be doing shows like this if you all would just simply, stop letting Donald Trump terrorize us. And that's what this has been about ever since. Good morning, Kabira. How are you?
Morning, Zeus. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. So look, what we got going on here? Okay.
Oh.
I sent you a picture in Instagram.
Okay.
You know the content creator. He was MAGA, 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 MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
Zeus, he's dumped Trump.
Get out of here.
I kid you not.
Hold on.
You see who I'm talking about, right?
Let me go ahead and get it loading up right now. Let me see, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Oh, leaving MAGA.
You remember him?
Oh, really?
Yes.
How we know this ain't? How we know? I mean, DJT. Yeah, okay, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the reason why I know it's true is, he lives in the Netherlands.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh!
That brother, right. And
I know why. Go ahead, tell me why.
Yeah. And so the reason why he's done with Trump, he said it was building up, but because of NATO.
Yeah.
And by him living in the Netherlands, and the chickens come home to roost.
Ooh.
They all have, like, what do we say all the time? Yeah, until it hits you, right?
Yeah.
And the sad part about it was this: his MAGA pals, they were turning on him.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And it's like, if I could follow you and you were MAGA, I even subscribed to him because it was MAGA, MAGA.
You're keeping your eye on him. You keep your eye on them, right? We keep our eyes on these demons, yeah, because they gonna break. Too much pressure makes the pipes burst. We know this.
Exactly. And they called him traitor, and he said, "Wait a minute, though. I live in Europe."
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you didn't think Donald Trump would do something here that would hurt you there?
Yeah. See, Trump will touch you worldwide, but I told him, I said, you know what, I told him, I said, yeah. And if you see, now you see what I'm working with. You see the other picture I sent you. The guy on
Yeah.
his hat has trumping on the back. We are CK. I said,
Yeah.
"Oh my God,"
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. They gonna break too much pressure makes the pipes burn.
right, I mean, he was more MAGA than Dame and
Woo!
Rod and a whole lot of blaggers.
Wow.
But
Okay. Trump
the
getting to
damn broke.
it. Yeah.
So I just wanted to,
Thank you.
and they
Thank
were
you. I
eating
needed
him
that laugh.
alive.
Yeah. I needed that laugh, Kabira. Thank you. And again, Dame, it's coming your way. What you're saying, Kabira, is eventually too much pressure. Dame gonna crack one of these days too, huh? Because Trump gonna get him, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and Trump is touching overseas now, and that's how he's had enough of it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because of Greenland and the European soldiers are moving into Greenland to fight against America. And the sad part about it is we're a part of NATO.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like one guy was saying to him, "Man, but we're more NATO. We have more in stake in NATO than the European countries." I said to myself, that guy is really crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, how much of a friend are you? I have 10 friends, and you're supposed to have more stake in my friendship than someone else. So it's. He told me, said, "You guys, you're in the cult. You got to come out." He goes, it took me a while, but I could see the light, and I'm out.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, you know what? Hopefully we'll get some people out there to start seeing the light, Kabira, seriously. Because we've been accurately saying, I've been saying it this way. A lot of people won't make it to the midterms. That's what I've been saying. And this is kind of another example of that, right? Where folks, one way or another, they're going to realize what a lot of the people who end up waking up saying. They're going to go, oh, the Democrats, they have been right. They've been yelling at the top of their lungs, and we thought they were lunatics. We thought that they were crazy, and then it hits them, boom.
Exactly, like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. There you go. Right.
But I'll still follow them. Blagger, MAGA, just give up the ghost, let it go. You're traveling down a dark, dungy road, and you got to come out of it.
Yeah,
The Martin Luther King speech you played this morning just brought tears to my eyes, Zeus, because I think about all the things we've been through, and then here we are going backwards behind this clown sitting in the White House. Nasty work.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let you go, Zeus.
All right, sis. Well, thank you so much. As always, you do a lot to help out and to keep up the wonderful work. Keep your eyes on these folks because you're doing the part that I like to do. I like to watch the wheel of MAGA snap. And what we got right there, I don't know what is his name, DJT. I don't know his full name, but that was the name of his account. I know he is.
Yeah.
He actively advocated for Donald Trump, and it's safe to do it when you don't think Donald Trump is hurting you, but sooner or later you're gonna realize, you're in this chaos.
Overseas.
Yeah.
Overseas.
Thought he was safe in the Netherlands until Donald Trump wanted to buy Greenland. All right, so let that be a lesson. That's not the only example out there either. All right, well.
Exactly.
All righty then. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, that's my sister Kabira. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Who is this? Dame. Hi, Jim. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, I just wanted to let you know, a little birdie told me this, that Dame has a strong disposition towards you, and he's really sensitive when you start talking, and I wanted to ask you, how does that make you feel, honestly?
Who?
Dane.
Who?
I just wanted to give you the opportunity to address it because it's your it's you, and you could speak for yourself better than I can.
I don't address people who can't spell the word despise, and I also don't address people who claim to be your biggest gifter, and then come up and literally attack women, attack you, attack America, attack migrants, attack the trans community. You know what that reminds me of is domestic violence perpetrators who beat their wives and then bring her flowers and give her diamonds. That's exactly the same behavior. So who, again,
I would never be that for you, Dame. So, Jim, I just thank you for calling that out. But it's not. We're not on that type of time, champ. Seriously.
No.
Don't try it.
He's the one telling you. But Zeus, I'm your biggest gifter. I give you so much love, Zeus. I'm always here for you, Zeus. I show up for you, Zeus. I give you the most gifts, Zeus. I'm your number one fan, Zeus. Haven't you looked at the numbers, Zeus? I give you the most, Zeus. You better start rethinking that relationship.
Sounds like a cycle of abuse that
sounds like a stalking situation. Hey, but again, I say who? Let's go back to this little post here since we want to talk biblical and Christianity.
Yes.
Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Isaiah 5:20. Those are the times we are living in. Those are the times that are happening.
Yeah.
And I got summoned in here when Taurus was in your box, and I just want to remind people, when they can make you believe absurdities, they can make you commit atrocities. So this idea that somehow the ones that are perpetrating the worst crimes in this country are white males, but we want to target the migrants. The white males are committing the most heinous crimes, but we want to target the trans community. I want to always go back to facts and data, right? 90% of all crime is committed by men. 90% of all crime is committed by men. And the worst crimes in the country, by statistics, historically are white males. Full stop. You can't argue facts and data. It's historic in this country. So Dame can try to spell despise 1,000 times and dislike me. I don't even know who Dame is. I don't give Dame any thoughts. I just want to make sure that people always remember the fact. But to go back to Taurus's point, let me tell you guys something. In this country, if you were to arrest and imprison all of the illegal aliens that you are claiming committed the worst crimes, and then you immediately deported them, where would they go?
That's a good question.
Where would they go? Think about it. Where would they go?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
They would immediately be sent back to whatever country they were originated from. They're released into the public and they come right back. So by Taurus's logic and the MAGA party, you literally would arrest them and deport them where they could then come right back into the country, which is what happens consistently. So just for everybody in here, let's be very clear. The reason that people are arrested and given due process and literally put in jail through the court system is so that they can receive a sentence and they are kept incarcerated to protect the public, both here and whatever country that would have received them, because of the crimes they're committing. They don't have access then, right?
Yeah.
But by their logic, if you're not an American citizen, you shouldn't be imprisoned. You commit the crime and then you get a plane trip back to your original country and released to the public.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Tell them, Jim.
Yeah.
Use the chat for Jim. So, this is the education we're talking about.
So, first of all, ICE used to not be called ICE. It used to be called INS. And for those of you who don't know the history about INS, that's on you. Yeah. But in the current name where it says ICE, it means Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which means they have no authority over American citizens. They have no authority over undocumented people who literally have come into the country and literally claimed asylum and go before a court.
Right.
And so if you are arresting people in an immigration court, you are committing a crime. You are not a law enforcement officer. You are breaking the law.
Thank you.
And so the crime on crime mentality makes you nothing more than the very thug and assaulter and abuser that you were letting Trump claim migrants were. See, and when you seek asylum, the word asylum actually means safety.
Yeah.
That's what the word asylum means.
Yeah.
But according to Trump, those seeking asylum, he literally believes that they're releasing all the crazy people out of an asylum and then they're coming over here. He believes that people are actually being let out of mental institutions and coming to the United States.
Wow.
That's the absurdity of this MAGA movement, is they have no idea that words have meaning, and that things that he says are absolute fabrications of what we're doing. And when we don't correct people. And people who want to like insult us or call us names or do any of those things, but when we come up and use your own words against you, you can't handle it.
Exactly.
That's on you.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is I sleep very well at night knowing I'm on the right side of history. I sleep very well at night knowing that my vote is to vote for the children of MAGA who literally don't have a voice or a vote.
Yeah.
So I don't vote just thinking of myself. I vote thinking about the greater good, the collective good, to ensure that every single person, even the dames of the world, have civil rights and human rights and women's rights and educational rights and have access to science and math the same as my neighbor who voted with me. I'm voting for you on behalf of you to ensure that there's a betterment of society.
Exactly.
Now, you can do with that what you want, Dame, but the truth of the matter is you think far more about me than I ever think about you.
Freaky Fridays, you know how that used to go. All right, you never know what these people, a lot of these people, Jim, they genuinely, they have a crush on you, but they're too intimidated to, try to use some game or use some of their knowledge they have to try to, get in your good graces. And that's what this is really about. I mean, even DJ, these folks are sick because they would love, and I used to be the love guru, and I can say this. I know it grosses you out to hear me say this, but they would really honestly love to have a woman in their life like you, Jim. And that's the sad part, right? They wouldn't even know what to do to keep a woman like you in their life.
You know what the saddest part for me is when I hear a DJ or a Tiny TikTok Tim or a Dame is, first of all, a DJ and Tiny TikTok Tim would turn on Dame in a heartbeat, and Dame doesn't even realize that.
Facts.
Second of all is the fact that I don't go into any spaces where these people are. Have you ever noticed? You won't find me in a MAGA-sided TikTok. I don't ever allow myself to be put into a den of serpents and think I'm going to come out okay. There's no way that I'm going to do that. Not because I'm afraid, but because I don't want the toxicity in my system. I don't welcome the abuse. I don't go into their space. But believe me when I tell you, I don't back down from anything when it comes into my space.
Facts.
So if you come for me, you better damn well come correct, because if you don't, I'm going to stand up for myself.
Amen.
And that's what men like Dame and Tiny TikTok Tim, Tom, whatever his name is, I don't even understand that. And Dame is they think that by perpetrating hate and perpetrating violence and saying mean words and attacking people who I care about, or like, that makes you look better. All it does is make you look smaller, not only to me, but to everybody in the comments section.
Thank you.
You get smaller and smaller. And the only reason you come into Zeus's space is because you want to be seen. You want people to see you and make sure that you're part of someone's day, when in reality, you look in the mirror and you're just empty. You feel nothing. Because you have to perpetrate absolute disdain for other people to make you feel alive, because that's what pain is, right? When you feel pain, pain reminds us that we're living, that we're breathing, versus the despair of feeling nothing. And so that's how they hold on to feeling like they're a part of something, is they think perpetrating pain onto somebody makes them feel it because they receive it back, right?
Yeah. It's not going to work. That's not a successful way, honestly, to live your life. You'll be a miserable person every single day, and you can roll your eyes, but again, none of us buy it. We all see you for what you are, a bunch of miserable, disgusting, sick people.
And I think that the fact that people don't understand that whether you are willing in something or willful, they both require participation, right? So if I'm willing to listen, then I'm going to actually have dialogue. If I'm willing to converse and listen to facts and data, then maybe we can build a bridge instead of a wall. But if I'm willful, that also requires participation, because I am being willful against whatever information you're giving me. I'm going to build brick by brick a wall and not receive any of that information. And then I'm just going to stand there and bang my head against it. Bang my head against that wall and talk about how I'm going to kumbaya with the person that that I want to harm the most. See, this is the thing I don't understand. Less than 1% of the population is trans, but they want to blame trans people for going into bathrooms when the number one perpetrator of crime have all been white males predominantly in this country.
Amen. Amen. Tell them, Jim.
Of the worst crimes.
Yeah.
The majority of all serial unalivers in this country, white males. The majority of mass pew-pewers in this country, white males. The people that are committing the most white-collar crime in this country, white males. Stealing and defrauding the country day in and day out are sitting in the White House right now.
Facts.
Trump is a convicted felon.
Facts.
RFK is a convicted felon.
Facts.
Not once, but twice over. RFK was addicted to the H drug for 14 years, coming from one of the most wealthiest families in the United States of America. But they want to make you believe that they're booming boats in the middle of the ocean to protect you from drugs.
What?
Please miss me with your BS. It's not true. They literally are in bed with those people, which is why he literally pardoned somebody that brought 400 tons of it into the United States of America.
Yeah. Thank you. W's in the chat for Jim. No lies detected. Thank you so much for laying it out like that for them, because these folks know what you're saying is God, honestly. It's really the truth. And it's the hypocrisy, right? You know, they claim on one side that they represent and stand for these so-called values, these conservative values, but we see every day, they don't care about any of those conservative values. All they care about is, quote unquote, trying to own the libs, which is ultimately backfiring.
You know what's funny is somebody just wrote, Gavin Newsom is a white male. Did you ever hear me say all crime was committed by white males? Did you hear me say that?
Is that why they mentioned it? Is that why they mentioned Gavin Newsom?
Yeah. See, this is how they twist reality, right? I'm giving you facts and you don't want to hear the facts. You then want to twist it and go, what about Gavin? Because you can't use Biden. What about Gavin?
Because I took it from them, right? Because they know if they say, what about Biden? We're going to get on them about that. So they don't like it. Okay. Now
that's the whole mentality, right? All lives matter.
Wow.
So before I drop, because I know you get off at around 9:30. I don't know what time you're closing the show, which I couldn't find you today because this account didn't have the Dark Zeus account. So follow me back on this account, please.
Okay. But good call. I totally
one of the greatest things that Martin Luther King ever said was that even if tomorrow wouldn't come, he would still plant his apple tree. He literally said he would still plant it so it could bear fruit for the next generation.
Yeah.
And I want people to remember that when we talk about following people, we talk about following people to ensure that civil rights are met, that
Correct.
every American citizen under the law of the United States is equally protected. And that is why great men like Martin Luther King are uplifted into the highest echelons of our history, because those are the men that said, I'm not asking for more than you. I'm asking for the same as you. And until we remember the reasons why we uplift men like Martin Luther King Jr., we will never, ever get better in this country.
Facts.
Because those are the people that wanted to ensure equality and equity was for the American people as a whole.
Amen.
Not some of us, but all of us. And that's where your all applies. That if something goes wrong and you don't have enough money to feed your family, there is a program that's going to be out there established by the American people to feed your family, not for the greediest, but for the neediest of us.
That part.
And until we start recognizing in this society that that is what the federal government was literally installed, that's what it was installed for, was the collective good, that we all pay into something to ensure that there are people who fall on hard times, who medically get hurt or sick or in an accident, that they have access to programs that we, the American people, contribute to ensure that they're being taken care of, that our infrastructure is being taken care of, that our medical research is being funded. But no, what have we witnessed in society? We are subsidizing billionaires. We are giving people like Elon Musk $38 billion for SpaceX, and it's blowing up in the sky every couple weeks. We're giving people like Bezos, who is already an established billionaire, subsidies so that he can spend more money traveling the world and having a good time while paying his workers less than they can afford, and they can't live on it. so they have to work 2 and 3 jobs. But we, the federal government, are giving him subsidies to pay for stuff.
Wow.
And he's a billionaire. So when you guys start recognizing that, maybe you'll start voting with the consciousness and the collective good to say, maybe I should be voting to ensure that people in this country receive the monies put into the federal government to ensure that that building doesn't fall down,
Amen.
to ensure that that bridge doesn't break, to
Amen.
ensure that our emergency systems are intact, to ensure that our military and those who serve in the military are not having to go to AFDC or SNAP programs or WIC programs, because we're paying those who serve our country with integrity and honor against enemies, foreign and domestic, the wages that they deserve when they go off to war and their families don't have to worry about it. See, and until you recognize that, you're never going to help the people like Dame or DJ or Tiny TikTok Tim, because those are the misery who want to take more and more and more from the neediest and give it to the greediest. And on that, I want to say I love you. I thank you for the hard work that you put in every day. And I appreciate the fact that you recognize that there are people on this app that may not have money, but they give you something more. They give you their time. They give you your respect. And that is worth more than money will ever be, because time can never be replaced.
Yes, you're right. You're welcome, Jim, because they say, you know, in the good book, if they read it, a good name is worth more than choice gold and silver. They should know that, right?
Facts.
And so, you know, I know one thing about this community.
Thanks, Ange.
I've seen on various and multiple occasions, and I cautiously do it sometimes because, you know, the narrative where, you know, people are grifters is thrown around out there. So I've never made it a situation where I felt like, you know, I should tell people or ask people to send me money. But what I've learned is you all have done an outstanding job rallying and helping people that truly have been in need. And so you never want to abuse that. And so that's why I say, you know, I would rather honestly continue to do what we're doing right now, interact with all of you, get the word out there, get the truth, and help save this country than to make it all about that, you know, because before I got on the app, I was a man. I was standing on all 10 toes before I got on the app. And even if they do what they do, I know I'll still be able to stand on those 10 toes just like you and the rest of you, all right? But a lot of people who truly are are struggling, you know, I get it. And that's a reflection of how terrible the economy is, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, the saddest part about what we're witnessing is that there's going to be an aftermath, right? For every story, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's going to be an aftermath to this. And the sequel for all of those people that's being written, it's going to be written. And there's going to be hell to pay because the sins of the father weigh heavy on the children.
Yeah.
So you're going to witness an absolute switch in consciousness.
Yep.
And every single one of these people who literally denigrate us or put down women or the trans community or the BIPOC community or the gay community or the Muslim community, they spend so much time hating everybody else, hating everybody, that those are the people that literally are the ones that hate themselves the most.
Facts.
They come into our spaces, they attack us, but then they'll go buy a hat that literally talks about hating other people. They'll go support and pay money to a man who claims he's a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
Who literally is robbing the coffers of the federal government. Literally will attack us.
Yeah, you see him
you know, you have this one particular person who comes in here who likes to attack me and call me a grifter. Have you heard me ask for 1 single cent? No. But because people give to me freely because they like the message, she'll call me a grifter. Don't hate great, appreciate, because you're the one that nobody wants to hear from, listen to. You are so miserable in your own skin. I won't even say your name because it's not even worth coming off the spit in my mouth.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. Well, she knows it, and we're just going to let the Lord deal with her, all right, Jim? Fair enough?
Peace out. I love you. Have a great day.
All right.
And make sure that you remember that even if tomorrow never comes, please plant the trees. Plant the trees. Plant the trees. To MLK, we thank you. May you rest in peace.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. No lies detected. There you go. Yeah, she's cooking and booking. I mean, she cooks and books with the best of us, ladies and gentlemen, because you saw what I was doing this morning. We started out the show with MLK Jr. giving us a little bit of a snippet of the I Have a Dream speech. And TikTok, they got so mad. MAGA got so mad because we were out here putting a good word out here. But you know what? We're not going to let these people get away with it, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to let these people get away with it. Good morning, G-Man. Welcome, brother. How are you?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Listening to it. I appreciate you went to Rican Live yesterday.
No problem. You invited me. I said it must be, when you do that, I said, okay, I got to take time and do these things.
I want to readdress that what I'll be listening to you. I listen to the ops behind the scenes. I keep it quiet. And this is directed to Tim and other people that you went, Zeus. I'll give you credit because you got a lot of patience in that. You're humble, H, like you said.
True.
And this is right to you telling me to take chance and your so-called daughter and a punk-ass boyfriend of this. I'm going to treat you like this. I try to give you the benefit of the doubt to bring with facts, information, with rude sense. I want you to bring the receipt just as well.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do that. What do you do? Try to insult this man online? Can I insult or try to say you affect me too because you said I'm in the cult. And by the way, I'm not even a Democrat. I'm an independent register, but I have empathy to other people besides my goddamn self. So you put me included, tiny, little no testicles, Tom, whatever. So I got it from Swerving. So he got that's a good one. Listen to MAGA Beach.
Yeah,
I try to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you did crashing out. You just named me on some mute him and all this, and you complain to you being muted over here, but you do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard me yesterday. I was tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired and frustrated and angry. And this is directed to you Latino for freaking goddamn Trump. I live in Georgia, Fort Benning, Columbus, Georgia, since my Army days.
Yeah. And
these MAGA bitches, Billy Bobs, give me this strange look, assuming that I'm here or not. But I get it right back,
Yeah.
Because long story short, don't start on the beat on with the G-Man because I respond back like the old young laws back in New York back in the day.
Tell them.
And see, this is what they think about you. You're Latinos, they vote for Trump, and you still simply for the MF, they don't gonna give a F about you.
Yeah.
You put me on the betterment as well, that's you. And Zeus, I got a higher respect to you because you have better patience with these. You go to the lion's dance and handle it. Maybe because you represent for guys like me, because I give 0 time because I had no this New York Rican. I'm out of New York most of my life. I still got New York Rican in me. I had 0 times with these foolishness, with these fascists, some of the guns. But people before me, from Val, Jen, who was a Q Dog and all this, they stole my thunder. This is the day the MLK people. This is the man that gave all rights. And I'm directed to this young lady, was a Taurus something?
Yeah. Oh.
I was around. I don't know if to be your father. You need to talk to your grandfather where you white women had a right to vote for over 100 years. But I was still around. You didn't have to own property, credit cards, and all this, bro.
Thank you.
I'm going to say that I was around till 1972. That was a great year. I know about Trump with his drafter and Dodgers, house discrimination while I was living downtown Brooklyn back in the time. The one to rent apartments, African Americans, brothers and sisters, and us Puerto Ricans. So Dane, you need Trump don't give a F about you. You should know about his controversy if you want to deal with it, because he didn't have one of your own kind as part of his administration.
Yeah.
Let him know that. But anyway,
all right.
To that late young lady,
Taurus.
You want to go back to those days? You be a second bit on it, treated who knows right behind the scenes. If you're married to your man, you can't get out of marrying on it. I don't think so, because I remember the white tea women doing the civil rights where the protest with no bra stuff on that, because they want to have the right to have bank and all. That's just like a man.
Yeah,
I was around, so
remind them.
I hope you don't get what you ask for your young lady and everybody's like
they
this,
might
because
get it.
They might get it.
Yeah, they might get it playing around with Donald Trump. But seriously, thank you so much,
Zeus, Thank you. I don't want to hold up your time. It's an honor coming to your house. But again, my man, I probably misstepped what I said, how you do it.
Oh, let me follow
But
on
you
this
do it
account.
for me.
I wasn't following this account. I'm so sorry, but yeah.
Oh, but I got many complaints about this account too, so I had to make other Zeus. It's like a whack-a-mole. I got 0.4 to 10. Okay, so it's a backup. So I think you might have to do the same thing like the OG, man, because these fragile MAGA bichos can't handle the truth. It's like kryptonite. Truth is like kryptonite with these Supermen. Just saying. But I'm going to let you go, man. I know you've been here for quite a while.
Yeah.
Everybody stay safe, stay strong. Be passionate on it. And I never to do no things. Thank you for your time, bro.
All right, WG, man. No lies detected. All right, I got to bring up Brother Swerve and then Dr. Hello.
Hey, good morning, all you beautiful, tiny people living in my telephone.
Yes, how you doing, sir? Happy MLK Jr. Day.
Same back at you, my friend. But Zeus, is that you? What you doing here?
I don't know, man. Just doing what I can. I'm the Rizzler. What about you?
Wait, hold on, Riz. Dame bestowed all this good fortune upon you. I figured you'd be out at Yachts Emporium.
He dropped the bag on me. But he's doing the right thing. He's making a little progress, and he's supporting the platform. I got to give it to him on that front. Because honestly, shouldn't MAGA be paying you, Swerve, for all the information you put out? Shouldn't they be paying us?
Well, they should be paying us at like a college level professor, because we already know they don't want to pay the teachers nothing, but they'll definitely blow the ICE budget 3 times in 1 year for a $50,000 sign-on bonus, only to turn around and undertrain people.
True.
I don't understand how you can sit there, Zeus, and say, you know what, these men and women get the same level of training, even though we cut the training from 6 months to 6 weeks. They gonna still be trained the exact same way. I don't understand what y'all complaining about.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Here in Columbus, Ohio, where I live, when you go through the police academy, you have to be in there for 6 months, right? Before you can get a firearm and a badge. You have to spend 8 months at the Columbus Culinary Institute before you can become a licensed pastry chef. You have to have more training to make a doggone donut than you do to carry a firearm and a badge. Does that make sense to anybody?
No, it does not.
Don't make no earthly sense to me at all.
They need their donuts. They need those donuts. Law enforcement. The ones that like to eat donuts and coffee on the side.
The donuts, the bagels, the curlers.
To make them.
It just, I don't know. And then here's what I really wanted to come up for, Zeus. And I'm not going to talk about Taney Testicle, Two Toes, Turkey Neck, Tim's daughter, because I'm sure she didn't know what she was walking into. But when I'm sitting there listening,
you were there.
I was listening. Yep. And this dude is telling you to shut your chicken holster. And he didn't say chicken. He said something else. I'm not going to say it here. He said, "Shut your chicken holster." And I wanted to send a guest request so bad as Tom and say, hey, Testicle Neck, this is how this man is talking to your daughter when you ain't around. Oh. You agree with that? Because I guarantee you, he talking to his daughter like that, the exact same way. I didn't. And I wanted to come up and ask Tim, and be like, hey, three-toed sloth, howler monkey. Did you tell your daughter you've been checking her out? Did you tell her that? Because you told us a couple of days ago that your daughter doesn't have the attributes that you look for in a woman. So you've obviously looked.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't tell her that. So he sits there and he wonders why we think he's so disgusting. Yeah, that's why. Well, my daughter doesn't have the attributes that I look for in a woman. So you've looked. You nasty.
He's in the comment section. He's in the comment section. He's hurt right now, Swerve. He's hurt right now.
Hey, you know what? A hit dog holler, don't it?
All right, W Swerve Tom.
And look, Zeus, I ain't gonna be nice to somebody like that. I ain't gonna be nice to somebody like that. Where I used to live, I had a neighbor. She had 2 beautiful daughters. And she called me one day. She said, "Hey, can you go get Sammy from so-and-so's house?" I said, "Yeah, text me the address." She texted me the address. I text Sammy. I said, hey, I'll be there in about 5-7 minutes. She replied back, okay. I get there. Sammy comes running out to the car. And a friend who was, I think, 13 or 14 years old jumps in the back of the car. And I turned around, looked at her. I said, who are you? She was like, well, I'm Sammy's friend. I was like, okay, I don't know you. You can't be in this car with me.
Yeah.
I said, are your parents home? She says, yeah. I said, okay, go have one of them come out here. And if they say it's okay for you to be in this car with me, then you can ride while I take Sammy to the house and bring her right back. Well, they're sleeping. Okay, well, you have to get out of the car.
Yeah.
And I was actually on my live on TikTok with my earpiece in when I was doing this. And everybody's like, yeah, Swerve, that's how you handle that. Whether I was on that live or not, I still would have handled it the exact same way. Because I'm not running the risk of some child getting in the car with me that I don't know, only to turn around and have something come up.
Yeah.
Tom, I guarantee you, Tom would have, all you get in here, the more the merrier. It's a station wagon. Open the back door. I guarantee you. And he wonders why we think he's nasty. That's why. And it's awful funny to me, Zeus. I don't know what her boyfriend claimed he did for a living, but I make 6 figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful funny how every Trump supporter we come across makes 6 figures. Don't you find that weird? They make 6 figures, or they own their own successful business.
They're trying under Biden though. They couldn't make ends meet when Joe Biden was in office.
Yeah.
Though. But now
all of a sudden, with inflation going up, unemployment going up, now all of a sudden everybody's prospering. All these Trump supporters are prospering. Zeus, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you pay your electric bill, what do you pay it with?
You use your bank account, right?
Right. You got your bank account tied to it, right?
Yeah.
And the money's got to be in that bank account to cover that cost, right?
Correct.
Okay, so can you pay your electric bill with gasoline or eggs?
No.
Okay, so I don't even see why that's a big deal. Because the only time we've ever had a president directly affect gasoline prices is when Dingleberry signed that OPEC deal that expired while President Biden was president. That's the only time gas prices have ever been directed. But you know what? I'm waiting on my utility costs to go down.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on my utility costs to go down. My electric bill is up like 15%. My natural gas bill, and it's cold out here in Central Ohio right now. I think it's like 17 degrees, 16 degrees.
Wow.
So you got to have the heat on. I can't pay that heat bill. I can't pay that electric bill with some cheap eggs and some gasoline. So when's my utility costs going down? What? Oh, right. We can't do the drill baby drill thing because we've lost 55 to 60 rigs under this administration again.
Wow.
Nice going, Trump. Nice going.
Wow.
That's all right. They'll learn the hard way. But hey, listen, Zeus, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, brother. Listen, don't be here too much longer, okay? Get yourself out to Yacht Emporium for that one with the helicopter on the back is gone.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you, brother Swerve.
I'll see y'all. Good night. Good day, all you beautiful tiny people living in my telephone. Everybody be well, be safe, and doggone it, have fun while you do it. I'll see you, Zeus.
See you, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, that's brother Swerve, No Lies Detected. All right, good morning, Doc. How are you doing? Happy MLK Jr. Day. Welcome to the show.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Happy MLK Day, y'all.
All right. Well, welcome. Nice to see you. Nice to hear from you. How have you been doing?
It's been a minute, huh?
Yeah.
Listen, today is a day off. I'm trying to get my daughter out there and get her to some history and appreciating her culture and all of the things that MLK Jr. and many of our ancestors have done.
Right.
And I am not putting the name of any other negativity in here. So I hope Dane, is that his name, Dane?
Yeah.
I hope he's doing the same. And I hope he also realizes who is erasing our history and not allowing us to appreciate those. I hope he knows that because it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the White House doing today for MLK Day?
Nothing, I don't think. They don't want to celebrate it. Remember, didn't they take away the national parks that you can get for free, the admission for those?
In California, they're free.
Thank you, Gavin Newsom. Yeah, Gavin Newsom, the state parks.
Yeah, I think I might move to California.
Oh, come on out here. We got a lot of lovely places.
Listen, I like Houston. Texas is toxic, but Houston is not. Houston is a melting pot. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stay here. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you. Well, you know what? Keep up the good fight out there, all right?
Okay, now listen. You know what really angers me is something I found out that this administration is doing. I know a lot of my black and brown sisters. I know what we go through when we go to get access to healthcare. Trust me, I know what I went through just trying to get appreciated as a black doctor.
Right.
But there was a point in time, yes, where there was the Tuskegee experiment, right? Where treatment that was actually available was withheld unknowingly to people for syphilis. And there's long-term consequences to syphilis, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So there is that. But what's happening now, I got to turn my camera. I don't know if you heard about this, but you do remember that RFK Jr. who put all this together. Hey. Okay, so RFK...
All right, gentlemen, behave. Because you know we don't allow that over here. Be respectful.
RFK Jr. decided he was going to get rid of Hep B immunization for babies. Y'all can check all the conversations we had on Hep B. Hep B saves lives. We got a podcast on it, yada, yada.
Wow.
Now, he decided that all of the research that experts have done means nothing for Hep B. Mind you, when we got immunization for Hep B for infants, do you know the rate of hepatitis in children went down 99%?
What?
Yeah. So that didn't mean nothing. So you know what we're going to do. First of all, the majority of the countries that are denied visas to the United States are African countries. But we're going to go to Guinea-Bissau and tell Guinea-Bissau that we're going to use their babies, thousands of their babies, to experiment and withhold half of the babies from getting the immunization at birth for hepatitis B.
Wow.
Now, the African CDC said, we're not having it. The study's not going on. HHS said, we don't know what you're talking about, but we're still proceeding forward. The millions of dollars they got from Denmark to do this freaking study, they're going to go and use. I want y'all to understand this. Dane, I don't know any way you can explain how this is appropriate. It is unethical. You want to talk about Tuskegee, but now they're going over to Africa to do a Tuskegee-like experiment by withholding babies from something where 90% of the babies, first of all, 1 out of 5 people in Guinea-Bissau have hepatitis. They have a high rate of hepatitis. So they're like, oh, we're going to capitalize on this and do the experimentation that's not needed over there. And we're going to withhold the babies from getting the treatment. 90% of the babies exposed will get hepatitis, and up to 30% end up unaliving from hepatocellular cancer if they get hepatitis.
Wow. That's scary. That's alarming. Why do
I don't know.
They're targeting the black people once again.
Yeah, they're targeting the black people. Someone said, why are they allowing this? So the African CDC, the leader of the African CDC said it's not happening, but I think what's happening is that they're probably trying to pay Guinea-Bissau. They're probably trying to undermine them, but for now, they said it's not happening. All of the African leaders are against it, and I hope that they rally together and don't allow this to happen. Wow. I hope they do not.
Wow.
Yeah, measles is off the charts. By the way, it doubled in 1 week in South Carolina, and one of the universities there, shout out to the university who you guys let your kids go to school without being immunized, now has cases of measles. So
what? So hold on. So why do the numbers why do they keep going up in South Carolina and these other states? And you know that's the first question I have. Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because they're not immunizing. I mean, Zeus, at this point, it's not rocket scientist. It really is letting people unalive themselves. Yeah,
so
it's
this
not
could
rocket
all
scientist.
start to calm down if they would just get immunized.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, when you don't how do you deal with people who don't value their own lives? How do you deal with these people? Seriously, I mean, they want to walk into. Do they come to the hospital once they contracted? Do they go to the hospital at that point? And then it should you allow them to come to the hospital? You know.
Well, I mean, you have to allow them. If someone was saying, some of the comments in other groups I'm in are like, yeah, well, let's see what measles is about to do now, right? Because of course the doctors are going to have to deal with the consequences of it.
I mean, because they can infect other people going to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's contagious like that. I don't know. How does it?
No, it is. It's one of the most contagious viruses. Measles. If you're in a room with a person with measles and you're not immunized, and there's 10 people, 9 of them will get measles. It has
Even
a
if they
high
don't
R
kiss,
naught.
if they don't kiss, if they don't exchange, bodily fluids, they can still get it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, it's airborne.
Oh.
And it stays on surfaces for hours.
You know what? I'm not going to South Carolina. I mean,
Here's the problem with the plane too, and why they give you those little things to clean, and y'all need to be using it.
On the
Is
airplane.
that it stays on surfaces for hours. So somebody sits in your seat with freaking measles and then leaves.
I'm done. You just took because I wanted to fly, but now you say it's airborne. I can inhale it.
You can inhale it and get it from contact of surfaces. People don't wash their hands anymore, and put their hands in the mouth, and you can get measles. Measles is a bad booger. It causes a pneumonitis. It can affect the lung as well as other organs later on. And something about measles people don't know. And listen, I'm giving y'all information that's literally in my podcast. I don't need a gift, a tap, but you know what's funny? I wonder how many of you guys are actually listening to the Medical Collective podcast. It's MLK Day. If nothing else, in Black History Month, y'all need to be celebrating Black professionals, medical doctors that you say we don't have enough that represent us. You need to be supporting it because I did 2 episodes. Thank you.
Y'all support Dr. Keisha. Follow her on all platforms. That's how you get the word out. That's how you
get the word out, because we did two episodes on vaccines. One of them was how we've had so many vaccine preventable illnesses come back because they're a victim of their own success. People haven't seen these things, so now they want to try it. Try a virus. You want to try anybody? Try a virus. Try an infectious disease because it'll come back tenfold. So measles causes amnesia. So if you get measles,
get out of here.
But your immune system amnesia. Wow. So if you get measles, right? Thank you, Bridget. If you get measles and later on you get another exposed to something you've been immunized against, your immune system has forgotten the other diseases. So not only if you get measles, have you affected yourself, right? Because later you can get subacute sclerosing panencephalitis. We talk about that. But other diseases you already were vaccinated against, you no longer may be immune to them because of measles. Measles
knocks your whole immune system out.
And knocks your whole immune system out. And I don't think people understand that.
Lord have mercies. Lord have mercies. I mean, because I did not know that. I mean, I've heard of measles. I'm vaccinated, but I didn't understand how it can spread, and now it makes a lot more sense of why it's spreading way more in South Carolina, like you said, because when it started out, we just knew there's been more cases under RFK than there were in the Biden administration, but it's been escalating now, and you're like, at what point will these people wake up and realize, that they're putting themselves and their whole state in danger, the whole country in danger?
Their whole state, they're putting everyone in danger. I mean, what's happening in South Carolina? I don't understand how within 1 week we can go from 250 to 500 cases of measles. I don't know if people understand. I'm just sitting back like, I told you so. I'm just holding my mouth, to be honest. Because I don't know how many times as doctors we can keep telling people. We said it during the pandemic. We come on here, and people want to be in their own bubble. But I don't think they understand to the extent of what is happening with measles, with RSV, with norovirus. What else we got? Oh, bird flu. There's been 2 other outbreaks in flocks. I explained all this. I went through all this the other day, y'all. Yeah. There's 2 more outbreaks in 2 other states of bird flu. And these are poultry. So those of y'all that like chicken and turkey and all that stuff, I think they have a turkey tiny tank top Tim person. There's an outbreak of bird flu in there. So be careful what you're consuming. And you got people that don't want to, the testing too, the FDA testing. That's a whole thing.
I thought we were a hot country and we're raking in record profits. Trump got a new healthcare plan. What is it? The Great New Health Deal or something? I don't know what he called it. I mean,
he doesn't have a plan. But do you know as the measles cases go up, we're over 2,000, we're about to lose elimination status. Do you know that how much it costs the economy per person that gets measles?
How much?
Thousands of dollars. thousands, 15, I think 10 to 15,000.
This is sick.
I don't remember. I had it written down, but it costs the economy for all these people that don't understand what these sicknesses do. Don't forget long COVID. Don't forget the people that later on in life get the long-term sequela from measles and all this stuff. It's costing us more because you don't want to prevent it.
Wow. Well, listen, Doc, you've laid it all out. And again, I want to say I appreciate you as always, the Medical Collective coming up here doing the ground.
The Medical Collective. Oh, and the last but not least, I think I told you last time, don't forget Colin Kaepernick's autopsy initiative. I had 2 episodes. The episode before this was with Nicole. She's the lead legal investigator for the initiative. And they are getting ICE custody cases. So if you ever have questions, don't think it won't, or you may know someone that may have a question. The Colin Kaepernick Autopsy Initiative needs morticians. They need more forensic pathologists, my colleagues. They, of course, always need attorneys. Ben Crump is over the legal as well. But please, please, please check out the Colin Kaepernick Autopsy Initiative episode. It was a lot of information on there, and I put stuff in the show notes. And then just to end, next week is the end of January's coming, the end of January?
Yeah.
So it's Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, but I think I told you. I need to tell y'all men too. If you don't believe in any vaccine, HPV prevents 90+% of HPV cancers. And I'm about to shock y'all. From the mouth, and this will still be okay with your mom. From the mouth to the anus. No, because these are cancers. So anal cancer, 90% of anal cancers are HPV related. Any anal manipulation will do. I have to tell y'all, penile cancers, up to 70% of penile cancers, vaginal and cervical cancers, we know 99% of them, and head and neck cancers, everything in this region. So this is the gift that keeps on giving. And this is the one virus that no STI test, they're not testing men for HPV, that your spouse, your partner could be giving this to you. Whether or not you were monogamous or not, he could have had it. So if you're not getting your children, my children, adolescents, get their HPV vaccine to prevent them from getting adults.
I could get a vaccine, or you're saying men could get this vaccine?
You should have got it as a child. You didn't get it?
Well, I wasn't paying attention when, my mom did what she did. I just know she's always.
I would go check women. You can get it up to 45, so it may be the same for men.
Let me go ahead and make a few phone calls. See, every time I talk to you, Doc, I realize. I'm not eating the bacon. Remember, you came over here and said, Zeus, you can't eat the bacon. And so I've eliminated bacon. So now you got me to go look back into my immunization records. And I got to just ask, I might have to come there, just tell you.
I got to go put on my powder.
Do you have a screenshot that we can just use of the things that we should probably have? You should do it possibly. Here's what you should have by 10. Here's because I don't trust nothing the Trump administration is saying. But all the way up until God calls us home. Give us a little screenshot of.
We do. The Internal Medicine Academy, Internal Medicine, and Pediatrics have the guidelines, and I will put them on my webpage. We have a webpage called medical-collective.net or .com. I have a resource tab. If people can't pay their medicine, if people need a patient advocate, it's all there. And I'm gonna put Zeus by Zeus's request.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put a vaccine list. But check with your doctor.
Because here's the thing. We all think we're okay until we're not. You know what I'm saying? And then you find out, because you don't think your mom is lying, your dad is lying to you, and they say you good. What are you allergic to? What are you allergic to? Penicillin. Put that down. And you don't know why. You just do it. So what I'm saying? And it never comes up until it's late. And so if you could do that for all of us, because I would easily start bringing, especially MAGA, and I might have to say that if you're not immunized, then I don't want to contract what you got. And I think you should look into it. If they think you can hit the body with light and disinfect it, you could probably,
Just before a few seconds, bring up Dr. Sharon, because she's the down below female doctor. Just to hit home, because I think we got to hit home. I agree with you. You can say you good, but I think some of us may have missed it. And with measles, you can check a titer if you're concerned when you got your childhood shot. So you can go check my measles titer. There was some of the older people, there was a period of time in the 1950s, I believe, was it 50 to 58, where it was not the most updated vaccine. And so during that period, it's recommended that people get another MMR. But hey, Dr. Sharon.
Hi, Dr. Sharon. How are you doing?
Hello,
And
good
Dr. Sharon
morning.
was on the episode on the autopsy initiative, so
Okay.
check it out.
Good.
Good
Good. Make sure
morning.
you're following these two amazing doctors, folks. Yeah, sorry, doctor.
I can't even come on camera because I flew last night, got home late, but I did fly with my KN95 mask. I'm not playing
Hey.
Wow.
because not only I mean I'm immunized. I'm vaxxed to the max. That's
Okay.
what I'll tell you.
Back to the max.
Um
That
I'm
sounds like a
vaxxed to
great
the
record. We should make that a
I'm
song together.
vaxxed to the
There
max,
you go.
Zeus,
right?
make that a song.
Back to the
Zeus,
max.
make it to the song.
Okay.
I'm back to the max.
You know, However, I still don't want anything, and it is a bad flu season also.
Yeah.
And even though I'm immunized, there's still a risk of flu. And I take care of pregnant patients,
Yeah.
which are all immunocompromised just because of pregnancy. So I protect myself to protect them,
Good.
right?
Good.
I
That's
protect
responsible.
myself to protect my. I don't know any other way. I just don't. I don't know any other way. This is just how. I believe in vaccine. I've been vaccinated even way before this whole debate about vaccine that started with C-19.
Yeah.
And for me as a healthcare provider, I can't step into a hospital without being vaccinated,
Yeah. Wow.
right? Because vaccines work. I mean, even the other day they were asking me, we don't have your flu vaccines. Where's your updated C-19 vaccine? I'm like, I got flu vaccine since August 26, 2025. Here it is,
Wow. And
right?
you do that annually, you do that regularly, you
I do
maintaining
my
that.
flu shot annually and whatever vaccines that need to be updated. At that time, I updated my Tdap vaccine
Good.
also.
Wow.
I traveled to, where did I go? I traveled to Africa last year and I go on and I see what's needed and I do those recommended vaccine. And I also tap into Dr. Atusa. She's a pediatric allergist, immunologist, and ask her if she thinks I need anything else. And she said, get this, make sure you get the meningitis. Now go back and I'll get that vaccine.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, listen, thank you.
Protect
Thank you.
myself. Yeah.
Now, can I
And
ask you the
Dr. Keisha,
question? You said something. I didn't want to cut you off, but I don't want to
no, you're
lose the
fine.
thought. You said when you fly, you wear the N95. Is there anything else you do? Do you sit down in the seat and do you wipe it down and stuff like
I
that?
do. Yeah, I'm sure Dr.
I
You wipe
do.
it down.
Okay. Because I want to know what y'all
I
do.
do.
Wipe
Just
the seat, wipe the seat
because
belt, open the tray tables, wipe the tray tables
okay.
down.
Y'all do all
Yeah.
that when y'all sitting in the airplane before y'all go to the okay? Because you never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
So
just know.
and part of it is I luckily I have status on United, so I'm usually boarding in Group One, so it's usually not very crowded yet. So I get in, put my stuff up, and I take the wipes, and I usually have extra wipes,
Okay,
and I'll
good.
wipe the seats, wipe the tray table. I travel it with my mask because
Wow.
people are huffing and coughing and coughing, and just to
Jeez.
protect myself. I don't want to figure out later that I'm sick. I'm not interested in becoming sick.
Wow. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. I mean, that's one of the things that I said. When you said when you both described how measles, it can do whatever it does. It's before it transfers. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but you get what I'm saying. Spreads when it spreads to another person, it can do it airborne through the air. Definitely through bodily fluids and stuff like that. So I was just wondering, how do you all protect yourself from this nasty world that we live in?
Yeah. And don't forget norovirus, you gotta wash your hands with soap and water. It has to literally be the process. The little hand sanitizer y'all put on your bags and purses won't cut it for norovirus.
Wow. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who rely on the hand sanitizer. So the hand sanitizer, in terms of success, right? 100% success is getting rid of all of it. How successful is hand sanitizer based on what you all understand? As opposed to washing, because washing, obviously, you say
Washing is the best.
Okay, washing's the best.
Do you want your doctor to lay hands on you by just going in the room and using the hand sanitizer and never using soap?
When you put it like that, absolutely not. Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to ask. Well, listen. Well, I want to say because we have to get up out of here, but I want to thank you both for coming up here.
Can I just say one quick thing about the HPV vaccine? Because I know you asked about the
Oh
HPV
yeah,
vaccine.
you know about that.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
say
So the
men can have it and
recommendation.
don't give it, and they can give it to their partner. The men.
Yes, we get HPV infection from those little dirty boys. Yes. So you guys need to be vaccinated. Thank you.
Well, I'm clean, but I
Hey,
get what you're
Sharon, they
saying.
can go up to 45 too, right? Men can get the HPV up to 45 as
For,
well.
okay, it's for what? Yeah, it's
44 and
45 years old.
364. Yeah.
No, 45 and 364. So just
Yeah.
the day before you turn 46, right? So even if
Okay.
you're actually 45, you would
Okay.
get the series of 3 vaccines, right?
Yeah.
And even when the vaccine was only up to age 26, I self-vaccinated. I'm like, I want the vaccine and vaccinated myself. I did pay cash for it at that time.
Yeah.
So if you're outside of that window, you can still self-vaccinate. However, I'm so happy that they increased the age up to age just before you turn 46 years old.
And that's men too,
So I
right, Dr.
do
Sharon?
men and women.
Wow.
So you still good, Zeus? You can go get it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to
So
It
go
is
double check
multiple
it.
doses, though, y'all. It is multiple
yeah.
doses.
So
Oh,
you can
really?
go to the pharmacy. You can go to the pharmacy, Costco,
Multiple.
any pharmacy do have the HPV vaccine.
I wonder why they don't advertise this more. I mean, it's something we all. If you say that they don't test on it, test for it regularly, they should at least advertise it. But yeah, if you could get the chart, I would like to have it, and then maybe occasionally we can show it, because if I bring up a Trump voter and I say you haven't been vaccinated, then I'll just drop them from the box because I don't want to contract it. I don't want to contract it. And there's
Sharon,
probably studies.
we're gonna put the
Huh?
vaccination chart together for adults.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. All right. Well, listen, you two. I gotta get up out of here. I didn't realize how much time had passed, but this has been an amazing show. Honestly, I learned a lot, as always, from both of you, your knowledge and your
Happy
expertise.
MLK Day, y'all.
All right.
And do not let the Tuskegee experiment happen in Guinea-Bissau.
All righty then. Well, listen, you two. Lovely. Thank you for having. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're following Dr. Keisha, Dr. Sharon, Medical Collective. If you have more questions, follow them, because they do take time to answer those questions on their shows. All right, seriously, I appreciate you. All right, thank you so much. Great live. All right, well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, Big Zeus does have to get up out of here. Oh my gosh. I calmed it down. You saw TikTok. They got my other account. I'm on my 3rd account right now, and it's like, you know what? I'll say this. I did start an account on Rumble, and we hate Rumble, but I say if they can say whatever they say over there, I might do that over there. I'm going to do YouTube, and when I get it all lined up, I'm really going to be off the rails. So if you see me on another platform, you know why. It's because TikTok, they don't like Big Zeus being honest, and they made me take away my hammer. Remember I used to have the hammer? And they said they called that a pew pew. Did you believe that? They called it a pew pew when I had the hammer. Boom, you're going straight to hell. And so now they're saying, we don't like that you're criticizing dear leader the way that you do. But in the meantime, they turn around and they don't get on him about not releasing those Epstein files. And so what I'll do is this. Oh, I should do a podcast. If you know people that I should hop on their podcast, let me know. I don't mind chiming in and offering my perspective, because it's needed. It's needed. And you never know where where your voice might go. You never know where the content might go. But it's important to always be light in the midst of darkness. I want to give all of you a huge round of applause. Thank you. To the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. You don't have to, but you do what you do. All right, seriously. But I also want to give one last round of applause. One last round of booze and shame, and this goes out to all the Zeus haters out there. You're not going to stop us from being able to call you out on being what you are. A bunch of sick people, a bunch of disgusting people. We're not going to stop doing it, all right? He said he would never surrender. Remember when he got caught in his crime? Well, if he would never surrender, what makes you think we would? All right? And we know that those churches you claim, I don't even call them churches. When you go inside of a building and you worship the devil, we don't call it a church. But I got to say thank you, Don Lemon, for pulling the hoods off in that building that they were occupying. Had the audacity. They really had the audacity to be reading the Bible, trying to talk about, we should, all the things that they pray about, while the whole city's burning. I never thought I would see anything like that in my own, in 2026. Maybe back in the 60s, but I never thought I would see anything like that. So it just goes to show you, as much progress as we thought we made, we still have a long way to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving these Trump voters one last round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. Take care.
Yeah. Gotta wake the chain up.
We burned it down today.
Get injected with some power. Pull some strings.
We burned it down today. We wore back out this morning.
Came from the trenches, now we ballin' at the top. Wisdom, energy, presidential, watch the ops.
Nice to see you. I saw you. I saw your videos, Marissa. You and your partner, y'all were picking out. But you were picking out some plants. Keep it going. All right. Okay. You gotta do what you gotta do. Seriously. Don't worry, I'm sending the lyrics. They said, Zeus, where are the lyrics at to your song? Don't worry. They'll be there soon. Art, thank you. Hugo. You gonna take off in a spaceship with the great cutie. What about Biden? What about Biden? You gotta go and say that. We'll get the other account going though, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. If you don't like the truth, remember?
If you're not happy here, you can leave.
Remember I told you that, remember? Make it bigger! What about Biden?
Moving like I own.
Let's go ahead and do it. I gotta do it one more time. I didn't hear it today, but y'all gonna like this song, okay? Hold on.
No facade, no celestial,
shining brighter than a star. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Vision HD clear,
Sack
with the moves, turn the dreams into chandeliers. I'm staying working, but they folding under all the pressure. 1600, I'm the one flexing, I'm the new successor. Back the legacy, every ball's a new crown.
I forgot to do it. Remember? I forgot to play this.
What about Biden? Yeah.
It's like real baby drill, but now we got what about Biden?
What about Biden? Stole the whole election.
Stole the election, huh?
Bring the votes, did the night. Yeah. What about Biden? Borders wide open.
Just sing this. Just sing it to MAGA.
Where we begin. What about Biden? Gas prices sky, inflation wild. Economy dying, can't feed your child. What about Biden? Afghanistan mess left them behind. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind.
Joe acting blind. Joe acting blind.
What about Biden? Yeah, yeah. What about Biden?
Sing it with us, MAGA. Come on.
What about
That's all y'all got. That's all y'all got.
Yeah. In the White House, call him Sleepy Joe. Cognitive decline. Everybody knows stumbling. Brothers can't finish a sentence. Pumping on strings. Who pulling the leverage? On his laptop, bullets and grills. Trying to cash flow, million conceal. Jam to get paid. Influence pedal while we out here struggling. Pockets unsettled. Weaponized OJ, FBI raids. Mar-a-Lago storm, 100 gets praised. January 6th, locking up grants. With Joe specified docs in his garage, man. Keystone cancel, energy weak. Depending on flows, gas $4 a week. Crime in the cities, soft on the streets. Defund the police. Chaos got beat. Hold the whole election night. Read the votes, hit the night. Yeah, that ain't right.
Biden stole the election. Did y'all know that?
Millions crossing, drugs pouring. Where we begin? Gas, black sky, inflation wild. Economy dying, can't feed your child.